coincidences that these things happen like that, but like it's pretty obvious by now that like there is an underground belly for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and well, since we're already recording shit, I was trying to find a good way to intro it, but welcome to Highly Offensive, episode 5. I want to say no, episode 114. Fucking my bad. I'll be losing track sometimes, but anyways, yeah, this shit is crazy. I'll be peeping some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know that like I get a gut feeling when I'm right. Like, for example, this all started yesterday because I was bored and I was like, yo, I'm trying to get some box. I'm like, it's been a couple, you know what I mean? It's been a minute since Shorty, you know what I mean? So I was like, let me get myself back out there. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, you just like to just practice, just to know you still got a jumper. You know what I mean? Like the other day when I was at the smoke shop and I was flirting with the Nepali girl. And I was like, yeah, I was like, where you from? I was pretty as hell. Yes, I wasn't even trying to bag that, but it was just like an exercise. Like, work that muscle out, see if you still got it. You know what I mean? So I was like, bet. So I was like, let me get these social media, let me get these dating apps, you know what I'm saying? Like, see what's out there, you know what I mean? Like, cause like, I'm sure the fucking dating scene is going to be drastically different than Florida. I just didn't understand exactly how drastically different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, fuck, this a downgrade. But, you know what I mean? That's how it be. Like, Florida's Florida. And, like, that's why I loved it so much. But anyways, and this ain't to disrespect y'all ladies out there. Like, it's just, y'all not my type. Yeah. Like, and I'm going to have to really, really, like, dig through this recycling.
Well, damn.
To like to find some gold in this bitch. But anyways, so like I'm sitting there like fucking going through the recycling, right? Like fucking felt like I was in a hoarder's home. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just boxes lying all over the place. I'm just this shit out here. Nah, I'm good. Swipe left. Like,
you swipe until his fingers hurt and then he stops.
So like one of the apps I had coincidentally happened to download, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to call it out yet, but there's
free advertisement. That's just,
well, not just that, but like, I want to make sure that like before I want to do some research before like I confirm these allegations that I'm about to make. But when I got on this one app, it was weird because, for example, right? So I'm used to like the dating apps, you either swipe left, swipe right, or like you browse, you search within a certain radius, comes up certain profiles, you click on the girls, you can message them, or sometimes like you have to match with them before you can message them, whatever the fuck. But generally that's the kind of setup, yeah. Now they've included, because of like the influencer era, they've included like live streams into like the dating apps. So like now you have like these girls that are just like fucking on a camera all day, just getting glazed by niggas, just like, oh, you're the best. Here's donations. Blah,
I never
blah,
thought
blah,
of
blah.
that, like speed dating on one of those apps would probably be funny. You're like, hey, how's it going? You got 60 seconds. It's getting cracking miserable on the next one. Swipe.
I get on this one app and it's just like, you know, a bunch of girls that are like live streaming, trying to get dudes to donate, you know what I mean, or whatever to them. And like, it was crazy because like, I swear to God, yo.
You on there like, what you gonna do for this galaxy? Rose!
Bro, I swear to God, that's exactly how it'd be like. Them fucking, because like I said, you gotta read the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you gotta see like how they react when they get the gift. Like when they get when they get hit with the gift, they'll oh my God, thank you. But anyways, yo, the migrants are taking over, bro.
The migrants are begging for Galaxies.
Like, I swear to God, bro. Like, when I got on this bitch, bro, it must have been like nothing but South American bitches. Like, and I can tell the difference because I'm Puerto Rican. So like, I know what Puerto Ricans sound like. I know what Dominicans sound like. I know what Mexicans sound like.
It's like you Salvadorians to take it over.
Like, and listen, I'm not mad at it because it's free content. It's literally the purpose of it is they're just trying to get you to nut. Like, so like they'll have certain guidelines that they gotta follow. They can't show nipples, they can't show nudity or whatever. But like they will go like to the extremes trying to get you to nut. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, like there was this
like, is she wearing a bath curtain? Like, what the fuck?
This one girl, she just had gauze tape covering her titties, and she was like swaying her big ass titties in the background.
See, I'm a nurse and I ran out of outfits. Like, all I had was gauze.
But while I don't mind that there's, you know, a plethora of migrant girls that are willing to cam for us and everything.
They're crossing the border to show their titties.
No, I don't mind that. Trust me, I fucking love it. The scary part, though, is that I am pretty sure that a third, if not more, of those girls that, like, migrant girls that I saw were underage. And, like, you don't know if this is, like, some trafficking SVU type shit. And I don't want to fucking know.
I feel like Olivia's going to pop out on one of those live streams like, you're under arrest, turn the lights off.
It's going to be like a fucking container with like
20, no more Galaxies! No more Galaxies!
20 Venezuelan girls just fucking rubbing it out fucking on live stream. Just like,
just the camera's going to knock down. You just see bad rooms. People fucking running after it.
Police! I swear to God, bro, like, I wanted to tag the FBI because
I'm going to start tagging ICE in all of these posts. All these, I'm going to be kicking doors down. It'll be a new trend.
Bro, like,
migrant workers caught on TikTok showing their bitties. That's right, titties, no text.
the nasty shit is like what you be reading in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, like you hear about guys that be leaving like comments on the porn section, and you're like, you're a fucking
I like
psychopath.
Back. Like, what?
Who the fuck leaves comments for porn stars? But whatever. You know what I mean? Like, but when you read the comments on this underground live stream shit, like for example, like I happened to click on one, and there was these two young girls on there, right? And I swear to God, they looked underage to me, and they look like some fucking migrants, right? And I'm not saying that to be racist, or I'm just saying what I saw. You know what I mean? But
you look like you can't get into the club, and you look like you can't get across the border.
What was crazier was when I went to look into the comment section, right? There was this fucking this guy that was like, yo, you got any younger friends? I'm like, nigga, any younger? Younger than this?
Like, say Drake.
You're like, yeah. Yo, get me the fuck out of here. I was like, nah, leave the stream. You know what I'm saying? Like, or like, I clicked on another stream, right? And I must have watched like over 100 of these like streams, like just perusing through. Like, trust me, like I was on my sicko mode. You know what I mean? Like I was, like I said,
Galaxy, Rose, Galaxy.
Nah, I don't be donating these hoes. But there was this other one, right, where I'm click on it, and it was like a younger girl, but she didn't look like, you know, like she didn't have the underage look, right? But there was somebody that had commented like, yo, how old are you? And then she would ignore him. And then he was like, yo, how old are you? Kept ignoring him. I'm like, all right, now if she responded to every other motherfucker that was saying some questions, but she ignored the motherfucker that's asking for her age,
then she's a federal agent.
Chances are I shouldn't be watching the stream. Get me the fuck out of here. Click. And it just like, and it scares me because, which it leads into my other story, the shit that grown men are going to have to navigate through when they're trying to date. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, I got on, I'll say this one, Plenty of Fish. No, it wasn't Plenty of Fish. It was Tagged. My bad. Plenty of Fish.
You're it.
I was on Tagged, and Tagged, it's notorious for like spamming you with all these like fake bitches that just like
So why are
with
you
links.
on tag that nigga?
Because sometimes you meet some baddies on there. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like I said, you gotta get through the recycling. You know what I mean? Like so you like sometimes there be some shit there. You know what I'm saying? There'll just be a bunch of other shit littering the top part. So you gotta swipe left
It's
and
like
get
the mail. You get all these advertisements. You're like, I just want my regular mail. I don't know what this is about. Yeah.
pretty much. You know what I mean? Like so I thought I found it. The gold in the trash, right? Bruh, daddy, like fucking thick 'em. You know what I mean? Like had yams, the titties, the fucking face card, the thighs tattooed up, fucking just like she had this one picture with her in a sundress, just yams poking out, and I was just like, God, Jesus, forgive me. But like, I'm gonna shoot my shot. I was like, because I had just been swiping left all day, not really like finding shit to like really like, you know what I mean, that really amused me enough to even send a message. You know what I mean? Like, so I finally found something that I want to send a message to, right? And I'm sitting there, I'm like,
Something.
I'm like, yo, so when I said it, I was like, damn, girl, I was like, you got the kind of body that make a nigga never want to leave the bed. Like, some little emoji or some shit. Bitch hit me back with like, thank you, like little kissy face or whatever. So I was like, it's a wrap. I was like, if she responded positively to this, I'm in there like swimwear. So I was like, all right. So we started talking a little bit, flirting back and forth and shit. And then she was sitting there being a little disrespectful, like, she was like, shit, I'll show you, little boy. I was like, little boy, bitch. Like, who the fuck is you talking to, little boy? Like, there ain't no little boys here. Like, this is some grown man shit. Like, bitch, like, I'll snatch you up by your hair, like, mush you while I fucking clap them cheeks. Like, bitch, like, who the fuck is he talking to? So, like, she was like, but I also know, like, some bitches like to instigate a little, you know what I mean? Like, so I was just like, I ain't taking no way. So I was just like, oh, like, keep playing with me. I'm gonna have to show you type shit. And I was just like, she was like, so what's up? Like, so like me, like it's crazy because like I'm used to chasing, right? So like it's not that like I don't like aggressive women or that like they don't have a chance, but sometimes they catch me off guard. So like, especially like when I'm like on the prowl, like I don't like feeling like I'm being hunted. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just be like that. But I'm sitting there like, I'm like, so now I'm like, damn, like, bitch, this was quick. Cause like, you know what I mean? Like, this mind you within like 10 messages. We went from, damn, bitch, like, you got the body that like make a nigga never want to leave the bed to like, yo, so what's up? So now maybe this is the natural path that this would have taken.
This nigga fast travel.
But I'm like, so now like that she challenging me. Now like I can't be a bitch and be like, nah, like I'm gonna run from the pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm like, what's up? Like, you know what I mean? I'm with it. And then she was like, all right, but not for the free. I'm like, pump the brakes, e-brake. Like, not for the free. Like, bitch, like, what? Like, I know there's OnlyFans girls out there and shit, like, but mind you, this is just on an app, a dating app, where I had to navigate through like 50 transgenders to get to this bitch.
Sound like only cheeks.
You know what I'm saying? Like, like I said, you know how many swipe lefts I had to do to finally get to this baddie, and then all of a sudden she like, yo, you don't have to pay though. I'm like, God damn. So like now that like I'm already invested because I done seen the cheeks and the sundress, I'm like, I'm visualizing. I'm like, damn, this bitch could probably take some dick. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm trying to see what's up. And then she was like, yeah, nah, hit me with the 300, put 100 down now and fucking, you know what I mean? Pay the rest on the day of or whatever. So like now I gotta make a reservation on the pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like this bitch is a rental.
You gotta check
you know what I'm saying?
Sure it's available.
No, and like to me, like it's crazy because like, right, like men are chastised publicly, like on social media, and oh, y'all niggas is creeps, blah 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 blah. But like, women have no idea the shit that we have to navigate through to even like get to that point. You know what I'm saying?
There's three
Like,
times as many women as there are men. So imagine 3 times as many dick pics and harassments. It'd be crazy.
yeah, and I mean, like, that's not to negate that there's fucked up dudes out there that do fucked up shit, blah blah blah. Clearly, I seen niggas in the comment section of some migrant minors live streams. Like, I know it. Like, but it's just like men are like so like dominated by their impulses, their hormones, their like we tend to be a little reckless. Like that's why they came up with that term like I forget what it's called, but it's like where you like rub one out, you know what I mean, before you go do some shit, you know what I mean? Like because you're not thinking clearly, like when your dick's involved, like mad times I had to like rub one out before I went and go like did anything because like
Getting prepared.
yeah, like you got to know the battlefield. But it's just like I know that there's mad dudes out there, excuse me, that can't bag bitches without the dating apps. Like, thank God that I'm blessed to like look good for my age. I mean, just look good, period. But to really look good for my age, like I can go to the club at any point I feel like it. And go bag some chick. I can go to the bar. I can go to work and bag some chick because I've done it. I could do whatever the fuck I want. I can get on these dating apps and then also bag some chicks. Sometimes like I pay up. You know what I mean? Reserve the pussy. But I'm not in this particular case. But the crazy shit is that I know there's like mad dudes out there like that aren't as good looking, aren't as confident, fucking aren't like there's niggas out there on the spectrum. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not to be disrespectful, but like, can you imagine the one dude that's on the spectrum seeing all these girls on these live streams, and you can't expect that nigga to not.
He's in the comments like
throw a Galaxy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna drop his whole social security on this.
He's gonna dig balls. Rate me.
But.
Well, I do have some advice for those niggas that can't get bitches, and this dude looks like he took the advice before he even gave it. Blind lady scammed by black boyfriend. Pretty much, yeah. She's gonna play the video. See.
And I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry to disturb you. You said that he grew up as a young black boy. Did you just say that?
Yeah, and his mother.
Are we talking about Mr. Mitchell, Ben Mitchell?
Yeah, but he's all tall, black, dark, and handsome now.
Hold on, before we even get to that, who was tall, dark, black, and handsome?
Gentle Ben, are you listening? Gentle Ben. And we dated, and you have to listen. And so, and we've been in a relationship. So.
You've been in a relationship with a tall, handsome black man for the past year named Ben Mitchell.
Bird.
Who is now in a courtroom.
Yeah, but my pet name is him.
Hell yeah.
Okay, Gentle Ben.
Mm-hmm. And we've been together, but Gentle Ben, I'm giving him too many loans. And what happened is being that he was raised in such an area where his mom was a single parent, about 6 children.
Poor little black boy.
Yes. And so now he wanted to go back and build up the parks and all the communities and just have some avenues for little black children, boys and girls.
Little black children like he was, the little black child.
Yes. See, now you listening. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And hold on, ma'am. Do you want, is there something you want to tell this courtroom, or better yet, you tell Miss what did he call you? What did he call you, ma'am?
My mama. Baby mama.
Baby?
I ain't got no baby, but...
Yeah, you my girl. You my baby. You know what I'm saying?
She ain't got no baby.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man. Oh, boy, we got a surprise for you.
a surprise for me?
Oh yeah.
I can't
Mango
wait.
Park. Mr. Mitchell, is there something you want to tell her?
Hey, Mom, everything I agree with me. Everything's good, man.
For the past year, is there something you want to tell her?
Everything good.
Well, I don't want to get off the wrong foot. First off, every time I come here, the first thing you tell me is to take off my sunglasses, and you can say anything to her. But that's beside the point.
Okay.
She can keep her sunglasses. I can't.
All right.
Secondly,
Miss Taylor, since he doesn't want to say it, I will say it. Mr. Mitchell is not a tall, good-looking black man.
Oh, he's short?
No, he's not short.
No.
No, he's not short. And good-looking, that is in the eye of the beholder. No. That we're talking about the black part. You see, Mr. Mitchell is not black. Mr. Mitchell is white. Mr. Mitchell is very white.
What do you mean he's white?
Yeah, you want to tell her? So.
He is definitely not a black man. He is.
And Jeff is black.
Not even light skin.
And I'm black.
From the Caucasus Mountains.
Yeah, he played the shit out of her. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
And you know what's fucked up? It's like, you gotta think like, this is like old black lady. Like, this woman has been through like the civil rights movement. She done seen some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and here come this little young whippersnapper trying to like eat them social security checks. You know what I'm saying? Like, she trying to retire. She can't even see shit. And here come this motherfucker taking advantage of like somebody's grandma. Like, that's just fucked up.
Her family is what I'm wondering.
I don't know if she got a family. Maybe she don't got a family. Not everybody got a family.
That's crazy.
It's nuts, nigga. It's nuts. I don't know. It would suck to get scammed by somebody. You're blind, thinking there's somebody else.
I mean, it's a scamming generation. Like I said, like when there are people on streams trying to get Galaxies and fucking all kinds of just deception going on in this fucking world. Like, and it's crazy. Like, that's why I mean, like, it's hard for me. That's why I don't be falling in love with nobody. Like, it's hard to just trust in a motherfucker enough to like love them, because it's just like it's a bunch of snakes out here. Like,
You're gonna meet them on those dating sites you be going into.
well, it's not just the data science. There'll be snakes at work. There'll be snakes at the gym. Maybe.
The herb. You seem very thoughtful there. What were you thinking of? Moving on.
Yeah. Next up.
So, young Joe was apparently about to slap his friend after he started laughing while he was talking about his daughter's struggle with drugs.
Career-wise, I wasn't where I wanted to be. What's up with your man? Hey, you finna get slapped. I mean, we cool, but I slapped the shit out you by that. Oh man, I'm just telling you. Cool. Now, what you want to do? What you want to do? Yeah. Silver Joe, come on, bro. You don't mean right here though. Right. Hey, listen, both of y'all, all y'all, everybody came in there motherfucker with me. Hey, look. Everybody came in the motherfucker with me. Hey, look, everybody came in the motherfucker with me. Hey, look, remember who you came in, remember what we doing here, man. Come on, man. Let's get this shit together, bro. Alright? I'm sorry, kid.
Yeah, like, do you know anybody that be like that kind of friend that like can never take shit serious and just be laughing at the most inappropriate of moments?
Sometimes. I got a sibling who does that.
Like, I don't know. I know I definitely can be like that, but I feel like definitely not like somebody when they're talking about their daughter's addiction. Like, there's like
yesterday, last podcast with someone getting killed. Did we laugh about something?
Somebody
You
get
were
better.
like, you gotta laugh.
I
forget what it was.
I mean, I'm sure I'm not saying that I didn't giggle, but what I'm saying
Okay.
But what I'm gonna say is, like, sometimes you have to be conscious of like the moment, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for example, like this is like this is the Breakfast Club. Like, that's a big radio spot to like for like
Who was laughing?
one of T.I.'s entourage members or whatever. Like he was on some bullshit, and it's like he might not even been laughing at you. He might have been like not like paying attention to something else and laughing at something. Maybe looking at something on his screen, but he just laughed at the wrong goddamn. Because here's young Joe on the radio trying to open up about like some shit that his daughter went through. Like that's something that's like real personal to him. And then this motherfucker in the background just laughing. And Charlamagne's an asshole because like he should have just ignored bro and just kept on but instead he kind of highlighted it. So like now it's like it's becoming a thing, and it's like that could have been a real fucked up situation. And I feel like if Young Joe would have just like beat the brakes off the dude right there, like I'd have been with him because, for example, like if you get called out for laughing at some inappropriate shit, the response shouldn't be, "Oh, you're not gonna slap me. Like you're not gonna do shit." Yeah, you should apologize. Like, yo, I was wrong for that. Like, my bad. Many times I've had to apologize for being inappropriate or saying the wrong thing or being insensitive. But like, man, I've gotten punched in the face too. But like the shit is like in that moment, like he instead of owning up to the shit, he kept tripling down, which like that shit would really rub me the wrong way. Like one, you laughing at my daughter's pain, and then when I'm sitting there calling you out on it, you sitting there laughing about it, like I'm not gonna do nothing about it, and like you, I'm wrong for reacting. You know what I'm saying? Like one, who the fuck is you? Like nobody knows you. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my fucking energy. Like you stick in the background and mind your fucking place. Like know your role. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes that be the problem is like who be part of your entourage, who you bring around you when you elevate yourself and you know what I'm saying, get to certain levels. Like shit, take a Lil Durk. We just seen Lil Durk and where he got arrested the other day. You know what I'm saying? Like but it's like that's like some entourage shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole shit was some entourage beef that he got involved in that he shouldn't have been in the middle of, and fucking to take care of the ops. You know what I'm saying? He did some shit that he shouldn't have done, and now he's facing fucking death penalty in Florida. Like that shit is crazy. I don't think he'll get the death penalty, but
he might.
I don't think he'll get the death penalty, but I think he'll get for sure like probably life in prison. Like if they can prove what they're alleging, because it's fucking Florida. They got DeSantis. This is gonna be they'll. It's like the Young Thug thing. They will milk this shit and publicize it to the max. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they'll politicize it. You know what I mean? But sometimes you gotta be careful, like who you put in your entourage, because some people are not for you. Some people don't really fuck with you. They only fuck with you for what you can do for them, but not necessarily like if my man's is opening up about his daughter's addiction, like you think I'm gonna be laughing at that? Especially like in the middle of a broadcast interview. Like I haven't heard Young Joe in a minute, let alone now he comes back, does his interview for it to be ruined by just some lackey like that. Like yeah, like that been that I don't know what his funk. Maybe he the blunt roller of the fucking group or what the fuck. But that'd have been his last day, not on Earth, just his last day as the blunt. You out, bro. Like nobody, I'm not bringing you around. Just so you could laugh and like, yeah, like he definitely would have gotten the beats though. Like, but fucking, I don't know. Like, how would you react to some shit like that? Somebody laughing at like,
I don't know. I mean, like he has a lot of self control because like I probably would have beat the brakes off him. You shouldn't be doing that. Not when somebody's talking about their daughter's addiction to drugs. It's probably not a good time,
Definitely that redoing.
Yeah,
nah, for sure. The fuck?
Yeah, some people just don't got self-awareness like that.
It could have been something as simple as like what you said. He wasn't paying attention. He looked somewhere else or something. But like you said, he should have been man enough to take accountability for it. Instead of
Well, sometimes people be fronting for social media. Like,
absolutely.
there'll be like some shit like where you in the wrong, but like I'm not going to back down because I don't want y'all to think I'm a bitch type shit, like, or whatever. It's just like, you just sometimes gotta own up to your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you can't even do that, you're never gonna grow. You're never gonna develop, like, as a human being, as a person. So, you know what I mean? Like, I hope that guy apologizes to Young Dro and his family for that. But yeah, like I would for sure not be taking that motherfucker nowhere on the road after that.
No. Speaking of one up to your shit. Oh, there's no like actual. It's just a headline. All right, so yeah, a chick whose dad was shot in the head ended up becoming a cop and then finding or arresting the killer herself, but 25 years later. Some like movie shit. It's like, you killed my daddy, I'll come back get your
That's
ass.
some motivation, yo.
Yeah, for real.
Like I would not want to date that bitch because that bitch holds some grudges.
You're not getting away with a goddamn thing. She gonna track
That
you
bitch
down
gonna
and find
remember
it.
everything. Like, but
Remember Friday the 12th last year? Like, no, I don't. Like, I do, niggas. Like, oh god.
It's definitely dope though. Like in the sense that like if I was a cop and I had a daughter and like some random criminal like killed me and got away with it, like it's dope that like my daughter would take the initiative to be like, you know what, I'm gonna become a fucking cop and I'm gonna fucking, because I mean think about it, it's 25 years. Like that's a cold case. Like ain't no trails, ain't shit. And this bitch is like, nah, I'm gonna find that nigga.
25-year-old
like,
cars are antique cars.
I wonder what they missed that she caught. That
she smelled his cologne somewhere. Like I smell that cheap shit. I remember that cheap shit.
They came in wearing that shit. They got pulled up on a DUI. She's like, I know it's this nigga. I know I smell that shit before.
Like, I mean, I think that just highlights like how crazy women can be and like how good they memories, because bitches be having elephant memory for some shit, yo. Like,
but niggas be crazy too.
It can't be that she like really loves her dad. And
no, two things can be true. Like, she can really love her dad, but like,
yeah, but the fact that that's what you highlight, the fact that women remember shit instead of like, this bitch really loves her dad.
Some niggas,
I mean,
somebody have done that to my parents. I don't know if I got to the extent of like become a cop, but
I truly understand it. I absolutely get like that's some Batman shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is her origin story. You know what I mean? Like she lost her dad and she was like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna find that motherfucker. I completely get it. But like I'm just thinking about it like from the other end. Like if you were like her boyfriend, you know what I'm saying? Like just thinking about like all the shit she be keeping tabs on, like or fucking.
Sometimes dudes be the same way. They be the same way, but opposite. You'd be surprised. Dudes will break up and then they'll start getting petty and shit. Like this dude, this husband wants his kidney back from his ex-wife. You know?
No. I want my kidney back.
No refund on
like.
His wife Donnell his kidney when she suffered renal failure in 2001 in a desperate bid to save her life and their marriage. When they split up 4 years later, he demanded she return the kidney he had donated. She had to pay him $1.5 million. But unfortunately, Richard did not.
That's a kidney.
Either the kidney or the compensation during the divorce proceedings.
Yo, if for example, right, let's say Matt needed a kidney.
Sure.
Right? And then this is a hypothetical. We're just doing a sort of potting thing. You know what I'm saying? Let's say Matt needed the kidney, right? And you just happen to have a good kidney you could give him, right? If after you gave him a kidney that he needed, let's say like 2 years down the line, like Matt found another girl and was just like, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just like, I got a functional kidney now. I got what I needed. Got a new girl. She got good kidneys. Like, you're no longer needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, this relationship's over. Are you gonna want your kidney back or not?
Like that, if you put it in like, because it depends. Like, if you're putting it in a situation where I was used strictly for my kidney and he got with me to get with me.
I'm not saying that he got with you for your kidney. I'm saying like y'all had a relationship and then like he needed the kidney and then like, but like let's say like a short time after he got the new kidney, Matt just started acting different. Like Matt started wearing less and going out more. And like, now you at home without a kidney. just laid up, all fucked up on dialysis machines and shit. Why you do
Mind, this is not the case that we're talking about. They simply separated, and he was like, "Bitch, run me my kidney back."
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sense.
I'm trying to get $1.5 million. If you won't give me my kidney back, I want $1.5 million.
Right? Is it?
I would maybe ask for some sort of form of payment. Yes. I'm not, I wouldn't ask for it back.
He wanted $1.5 million or his kidney back.
Yeah, I would ask for some sort of
He's not getting either.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, we're not talking about a home. We're not talking about a car. We're not talking about some visitation rights for the. We're talking about a whole kidney.
You can live without it.
You could, hypothetically, but
Not hypothetically.
I'm saying, okay, you can. But the point is, do you have to? Should you want to? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I love somebody, so you know how you know how they talk about like how right Christ is so like so great because you know he sacrificed himself for the whole world. That was a gift, like a gift that he was never gonna get back. You know what I'm saying? Like I love this world so much. Here's my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not here to die on the cross for y'all. Like if I give you my kidney and you leave me for another nigga, I want my kidney back. Run that shit back, bitch.
But you can't.
Like,
you can't. It's. I don't know because I feel like if you love somebody, you wouldn't ask
or
for your kidney back.
give me your new nigga's kidney. But somebody
swapping kidneys here. This is bullshit. I ain't give you my kidney indefinitely. That's why you went with me. Why
I give you my kidney for you to be a hoe. Yeah, like, nah, we're not doing that.
Speaking of being greedy, 34-year-old dies after her stomach tears open during a live mukbang. Mukbang. I like that word. Mukbang.
So mukbang is essentially like an intense eating, like binge. Like they'll get on the stream and they'll
buffet
just
extreme mukbang.
I mean, it was a heavy chick.
A 24-year-old extreme eater died during a live stream of a 10-hour food binge after her stomach reportedly ripped open. Pam Shouting, who was famous in China for her
no, say it.
live stream,
Get on the edge. Get on the edge. Do it today. Don't let it be just me.
Yeah, she's gonna have a t-shirt, a RIP shirt, and it's gonna just say "eater" at the bottom.
She collapsed in front of
She was an eater.
Fans urgently tried to send help, but ultimately it wasn't enough to save her. It's also reported that Shouting was
fans try to send help. They should have been helped by not watching their goddamn stream.
After being discharged, she continued.
She got the nerve. See, I need a bicycle. She even got a bicycle.
And started to remove mukbang content after a law was passed banning the practice. But the videos continue to emerge online, gaining millions of views.
Is that out in the States? Is that?
No,
That's like some Thailand shit.
No. That's not just some Thailand shit. Y'all remember that dude, Nick Avocado? That YouTuber that got super fucking fat.
Oh, yeah, and then he was like big, and then he came back.
Yeah, he lost weight,
but he was perpetuating that he
had pre-recorded content, and was still releasing content out as if he was still.
And then he like shocked the world when he released a video of him showing him like lost mad weight, like he wasn't that big anymore.
But like that's a thing now. There's people out there who watch people fucking eat. I mean, like a 10-hour binge. Like, you know how crazy it is to just eat for 10 hours straight?
I can't even watch Lord of the Rings movies consecutively together. So to watch somebody eat for 10 hours consecutively,
I can't fuck for 10 hours in a row. I don't want to work for 10 hours in a row straight. There's nothing I want to do for 10 hours straight. You know what I'm saying? No. Let alone just stuffing my fucking face in front of a fucking camera while people watch and
maybe some
toss Galaxies at me.
Do some ayahuasca.
You know what I'm saying?
Straight, but I don't know about.
I don't even want to smoke weed for 10 hours straight. Like, and I love weed, but like there is limits to things. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, it's every couple hours. I gotta go smoke again. Everything, yeah. Like this bitch was on 10 hours. Like she probably like ran out of shit. Like was like, all right, let me get that Italian from Jersey Mike's. Like it's sad. I feel bad for her family members, like whoever loved her. Like, but like. You gotta love your people more. You gotta like tell them, yo, you fucking fat. You can't be fucking doing this shit.
You gonna like, die. You gotta
sometimes you gotta give people the Lizzo treatment, and like it hurts their feelings in the fucking moment. But look at Lizzo now. But look at Lizzo now. that bitch is looking healthier. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like you can't empower and enable this kind of fucking behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like, not for kids, not for fucking grown ass adults. There's too many health implications. You saw how fucking COVID took out the fatties. Like, we can't fucking. I mean, realistically, like the how many people? I don't even know the fucking statistics, right? But like, let's say COVID was really fucking dangerous, right? Because it was a respiratory fucking situation. If you got fucking fat people who can't fucking breathe, like, it's only fucking natural that these niggas is the first in line to go.
Yeah, just like a apocalypse, we already know who's going to die first.
It's not to be rude. It's just evolution, survival of the fittest kind of thing. And you're not fit, my nigga. You're gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I try to stay fit. It's not like I hate fat people or I don't. It's just I can never be one of you. Like, I'm sorry, but it's scary to be that fat. Like, where you're fucking consuming for 10 hours straight and just not realizing, hey, this is fucking dangerous. It's like the people like that go to the fucking hot dog eating contest. Like, I'm not stuffing 87 hot dogs for you motherfuckers to win a trophy.
And no, $5,000.
Like, this is my stomach. Like, I now at my age, bitch, I wake up with like acid reflux and fucking indigestion and shit. I'll be taking Tums sometimes just to like pacify my stomach. Like, I'm at that age now. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be stuffing fucking food like a fucking pig like that, like, ugh, like, nah, man. And you should not want to look fucking like that. Like, I remember, when we was in Florida, right? And this is fucked up. I ain't gonna lie. This is fucked up. Let's preface this story with that. But I was working with my uncle, my pops, and a couple other people as drivers, right? And there was this one dude, I had made fun of him because this nigga was a cokehead. But this nigga was funny as shit. This like old Puerto Rican cokehead. Yeah, like, bro, every time we pulled over for a stop, this nigga just like and got right back on the road. Like, that shit right in the bathroom. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But this motherfucker started clowning my uncle because my uncle was fat. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they would always roast each other on the bus. Like, oh, you fucking cokehead, blah, blah, blah. You like, they'll dead ass call this nigga like a word that I can't say. Like, no, I can bleep it out. They'll call this nigga. They'd be like, oh yeah, you on coke, you be doing like weird shit with niggas and bitches and shit. Like, you like one of them like
backroom niggas.
Yeah, the glory hole type niggas. Like, so this nigga was like, man, shut up. You so fat that when you be pissing, you be like dribbling on that shit on your leg, like on your thighs and shit. And I just started cracking up from the back, yo. Because like my uncle, he is kind of fat. Like, this nigga is like, I don't know, like borderline like 400, 500 pounds. Fucking like whole fupa thing going on. I don't know if he sees his dick when he's in the shower. Like, I feel bad for the nigga. But it's like, at some point though, like, you had to like look down and be like, where my dick at? Like,
let's go! Who took my dick?
Now, my uncle, thank God, like, he's not like, he don't be doing binges like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he just got bad genetics. Like, that's just the roll of the dice. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm sure like he also didn't do things to help it. But like, he's not like on a 10-hour binge like that. But it's just like, sometimes you gotta call shit out for what it is, even if it's mean. Like, yo, drop down them wings. You look like you might have a heart attack. Like, is it wrong? Maybe. But like, I'm trying to save a life. You know what I'm saying? Like, play the song by the Fray, How to Save a Life. Because like, if this person like actually, if I gave a fuck about them and then they died from that and I didn't do enough on my end, like, I'm gonna feel like shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I should have done better. Like, I should have done more. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm gonna get transition for this one, but but I'm just calling out. So 96 racks a year for rent is what Angel Reese pays. $8,000 a month, and her $74,000 salary can't cover any of her bills. That's why she's out here with her cheeks out. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get them endorsements. I'd be the same thing. Imagine if somebody told you, like, hey, look, like, your salary is not going to pay enough, but you want to live lavishly. And they're like, you need to get some, like, endorsements. And you need to go to the club tonight with your titties out and your cheeks hanging. You don't got to fuck nobody or do anything. Just walk to the club. We'll pay you. I'll be out there with my cheeks out every day, nigga. Somebody's going to give me an endorsement.
I get it, but I mean, like, it's just like, to me, that's girl math. Like, if you know you're only making $74,000 from the NBA, like WNBA and whatever salary. No, I know you're getting endorsements and shit. And she was already making. She was saying that she didn't want to join the WNBA because she made more as a college player than she ever would as a WNBA player. So she had already had bread going into it. But like, you kind of have to like think like, maybe I shouldn't have an $8,000 home. For like, I'm 21, 22. Like, I don't need
barely ever home, probably.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but that need to like stunt and like just have this lavish like life like overrides that, and it's like, if not for her sponsorships and all those other things, like she like I see her a lot. Like, I don't see Caitlin Clark a lot. Like, Caitlin Clark, that bitch is golfing somewhere, fucking maybe like in the gym, working on her jump shot. But I don't see her doing all this. And I hate not to compare the two, which I already did, and I'm not trying to put them against each other or anything like that, because they're two separate individuals. But it almost seems like Angel Reese has to be out. Like, she this is part of her PR or part of a way to get recoup that bread.
It's probably just trying to get money, be in the public limelight.
But it's
even
like,
a story like this is probably something to just give her.
But it's a shame that like she has to, because she needs to be in the gym working on that jump shot. Like,
yeah, but like if the jump shot's paying you an average salary, then maybe she does need to be out here with her cheeks out doing something else other than basketball to make money.
No, because
she got to be an entrepreneur, especially if you want to be making a bunch of money. She's not going to make a bunch of money just at the WNBA.
No, not just in the WNBA, but the whole thing is about it is you want to get better at your craft.
Nah, nigga,
you want to. She's
compete. Like, I want to get a makeup line and be like Rihanna and fucking make $1 billion a year. Like that's what the goal would be for me. Like, if I know I'm gonna do college, get paid in college, get out, not make shit, pretty much make up for it through endorsements and continuing to play, then the next play is to like get some other business shit popping. Maybe she wants to do modeling. And this is a segue for that.
And that may be true, but then if you want to take that route, you can't complain then when everyone's saying that fucking Caitlin Clark is miles better than you.
I mean,
and try to make it into like a race thing. Oh, y'all only fuck with her because she's white, and no, because that bitch is shooting threes consistently from the logo.
Yeah,
in order to do that, you have to be in the gym, practicing, being able to test how much further you can. Like, I know, because that's how I've done as a player. Like, when I got good at shooting threes, I started testing the waters. Well, let me see if I can shoot them from further out until like I got better at it. And Caitlin Clark is still miles better than me. So it's like, if you want to compete with her, if you want to make yourself seem like you're this girl's rival, like you're the number 2 to her number 1, or the true number 1 that is being overlooked supposedly because this girl's getting the princess treatment, then bitch, you better be in the gym shooting them threes, not ass out fucking. And they'll make it seem like this is some incel shit. Like, I'm saying, oh, I'm policing women and like, no, I'm just telling you to work on your fucking craft, because if you want to be better than her, that's what it takes.
My thing is like if the goal is to make more money, then I wouldn't be trying to craft anything in the WNBA. They don't make enough money. I'd be doing other shit. I'd be trying to get like some other brand going. I don't know. Because the answer wouldn't be the WNBA. It hasn't been for anybody. Nobody's made like a shit ton of money in the WNBA. It's not happening.
But I mean, if that was the case, then why would she even play basketball in the first place?
For exposure.
I mean, maybe
like her behavior doesn't say that she wants to be the best basketball player in the world. If she's not, we've seen more pictures of her outside of playing basketball than we have of her like doing some great shit in basketball. Like it's not a coincidence that she always has like pictures of her going to the club and always has like hanging out with celebrities.
There's too much focus on her physical looks.
That's her doing that though. Like she's legit out here front row seats, barely wearing anything. Like that's kind of like that's what you're putting out there. She has the power to put.
That's why Shaq is fucking drooling over this bitch.
Shaq will fuck everybody.
no, Shaq, but
it's because you can see everybody.
But it's just
like that one over there. Which one? The one above everybody's heads. That one over there.
I don't want to talk about Angel Reese's looks. I want to talk about her game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want that to be the focus of the, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like, I hate, like, because then if for example, we talk about her looks and blah, 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 then that's what, oh no, you're misogynistic. You're not focusing on what she really does, her career, blah, 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 blah. You're only focusing on the superficial, the looks, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, but you do have your cheeks out every other week and fucking, and you're presenting them to me visibly. I don't want to focus on this. Cheeks don't get me wrong. I love looking at Angel Reese. She got some great legs and a nice ass. Beautiful, beautiful young lady, right? But she's, I would much rather look at her from a strictly professional hooper level. Like, because, like, for example, I don't look at Caitlin Clark that way. Now, I also, like, Caitlin Clark isn't the prettiest white girl in America. You know what I mean? But
she got her face with bag of dicks.
but with Caitlin Clark, like, I am a genuine fan of her abilities on the basketball court. Like,
I mean, you have to be at this point. Say that she's an ugly bitty. I don't think.
Yeah, but I'm also like you see, like, girl, like I'm very, very specific about the type that I like. You know what I'm saying? Like,
speaking of very specific about the type they like, the Catholic Church paid $880 million to settle sex abuse allegations because they definitely had a preference of little boils.
The largest settlement ever from the Roman Catholic Church for alleged child sex abuse. The Archdiocese of Los Angeles has agreed to pay out, and listen to this number, $880 million to more than 1,300 people.
The settlement could be the final chapter in what has now become a landmark battle of child sex abuse claims dating back decades. It's on behalf of more than 1,300 victims who say they suffered abuse by local Catholic priests and comes after months of negotiations with the Archdiocese. More than 300 priests have been accused in legal documents and public records of sexually abusing minors. The Archdiocese had previously paid $740 million in various settlements, bringing this total payout to more than $1.5 billion. The Archdiocese says it will fund those settlements with investments, assets, reserves, and bank loans. In a statement, attorneys for the alleged victims told CBS News the massive amount of this settlement reflects the amount of grievous harm done to vulnerable children and the decades of neglect, complicity, and cover-up by the Archdiocese, which allowed known serial predators to inflict this harm. Archbishop Jose Gomez in a statement said in part he hoped the settlement would provide some measure of healing to those harmed.
Shit, I got touched. Like, yeah, I remember I went to Catholic church when I was in the boot camp. They touched me there. Like, I want part of this $880 billion.
My thing is, like,
fuck it was million. God damn, that's a lot of money.
These niggas, Diddy should have took a note from the Catholic Church because they're out here touching boys and not paying taxes, and nobody's going to jail. I'm finding that very fucking ridiculous. How you going to just pay away the child abuse? Like, all right, how do you look at 1,330 victims and you're like, all right, this penis is worth about what about $5 million for this one, but the next one, that's worth about $2.
The math comes out to about like 700,000 a piece. So
$700K victim.
Yeah. So I mean, like, it's a nice chunk of change for. I mean, it's probably not Cassie money.
We put away that mental, verbal, physical abuse for $700,000. You know, that's a small house somewhere.
House somewhere. Hell yeah! Like, you can recuperate from that pain a little.
Yeah,
not entirely, but like, but enough for.
Do you think that would be a law that they could put in place? Like, if you did something wrong like that, the penalty would be you have to provide a home for each person you abused. We fix the homeless population quick, because I bet you there's a bunch of homeless people that have been abused and they don't have any homes.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure that, but I mean, like
that would be the civil penalty. Like the government just builds up houses for any type of sexual abuse victim, and then they would have to like the person that gets abused would get the house like tax free, but then the abuser would go to jail, and then they'd have to pay the mortgage for that house.
Damn.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Be like, yo,
that's like double punishment.
Yeah, for real. It's like when you get out of jail, nigga, just know that you owe 10 years of mortgage payment. And they ain't covering shit. They don't even pay insurance and none of that shit.
Like, sometimes I wonder how people still send their kids to Catholic church.
I don't know why, man.
Like there's been, because we've heard about Father O'Reilly, you know what I mean, for like, still, I'm just throwing a specific, a random name.
But they be out there abusing kids. They have a whole like system to like get these bishops and archdioceses moved to different areas after they abuse kids, and then they throw money at it, and then nobody like goes after the Catholic Church. Is like, yo, wait, what other group? Let me name a group of Christians that are out here abusing kids knowingly. Then they're like, all right, we're gonna move this pastor, not over here, because you're not saying we're gonna fly this nigga to a different country. Our little area that's
to an
with our little police and shit where nobody can really take you out. And then for every claim that you can prove, we'll pay you. But we gonna keep this nigga here. He not gonna do it to no more kids. He's over here. He's safe now. Like, there's no other group like that in the fucking world that I can think of that, like, hey, you just got people out here abusing people, knowingly abusing people, and they're just paying them off, and they're like, hey, it's all right because they're Catholic. Like, wait a minute, like.
Well, man, it just shows it speaks to political power. I mean, this is what these people used to like go up against kings back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but like, goddamn, like, remember Waco with the Christians? Yeah. They went in there. The FBI was like, "Oh, they got a gun." They just started shooting everybody. And they're like, they were saying,
why do you think America said, "Hey, separation of church and state"?
But it's
because
bullshit.
We didn't want a repeat of that over here. You know what I'm saying?
But there is no separation of church and state when they have passing abortion laws based on faith. Like, that's not. There's no separation there. There's no separation there.
Nowadays, like they're starting to revert back to how it used to be.
Nah, there's never been. It says, "In God we trust" on the dollar bill. There's never been no separation of church and state. You can make it at any claim you want. The holidays that are federal holidays that are Christian holidays, that's not fucking separation.
What Christian holidays are there?
Christmas.
That's not a Christian holiday. That's a pagan holiday.
What I'm saying, Christians celebrate Christmas because they give presents, so you're taking part of the ritual. It's like, oh, I'm not a Satanist, but nigga, you do Satanist shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you part of the group, you hang out with them niggas, but you're not part of them. All right, whatever. Y'all niggas celebrate, you exchange gifts, you're part of the group. Either way, there's no separation there. Like, there's no separation when it comes to Columbus Day and Catholics. They think that nigga's like a god. Because he discovered the Americas. Like, they literally feel like you take a holiday away from them when you're like, I don't believe in that. And they're like, oh, you don't believe in Catholicism? You don't believe in Christianity? Like, they can't separate the two. Or being in a house and not being married, like, they can't separate the two. Like, there's always something that religion influences culture, behavior, laws, and then there's groups of people that fight about it. Well, you're the old school Christian if you believe in not killing babies, like you're old school. And then if you believe in pro-choice, or you're the new school Christian, like there's literally a fragmentation of the same.
I mean, there's so many denominations, right? But I think the major problem with Catholicism is that it creates this kind of perversion, right? Because if you tell all your priests and whatnot, they can't marry, they can't, like be with anyone, they're just secluded to just the religion itself. Like, again, we just talked about, we started the podcast talking about men being horny, the how they navigate through this world, especially with those impulses that feed them on. You have these people now in robes that, hey, you can't get married, you can't lay with women. So then it's like, well, where do they turn that energy into? And I'm not saying that, and that's not to justify what they do, because that is absolutely not what I'm doing, and they're sick in the fucking head. But I'm saying is, I think that there is an overarching problem, is that when the religion itself is telling these people, hey, don't get married, and they're all.
My thing is, like, you shouldn't have been in the gang, nigga. Don't blame the gang after you join the gang. You committed to this shit. Nobody else put a gun to your head and said, go commit to this. You made that choice. There's too many lukewarm people that are probably, leading kids, and there's too much trust involved in that whole process. But it's not it's not Catholic Catholicism's fault.
Well, it's like a cult. Like most religions are like a cult. I mean, people believe in it, and when they believe in it strongly enough, you know what I mean. Like they're devoted. Like my mom. Like my mom is a devout Pentecostal. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like to the point where she won't go to the movie theaters. She won't listen to secular music. Like there's mad things that like she completely like abstains from just to like appease her religion. So like, but does that mean that she does? Like I've called my mom sometimes kind of like singing little songs or like like that impulse is still there, but it just suppresses it. So what I'm saying is like, I think that's a part of the problem with that religion in particular is that like men are inherently sexual creatures. Like they are that's just how they navigate through life.
I still,
what I'm saying?
I call bullshit because you could do all that stuff and suppress whatever, but that's still a choice. Just like abusing little kids is a choice. These are people with power.
You can't suppress sexuality.
They shouldn't be priests.
No, they shouldn't.
Do with
but there would be no priests then.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like if the law is, hey, if in order to be a priest you can't get married.
Wouldn't you rather have no priests touching kids than priests that touch kids because they're
of course.
So then they shouldn't be priests. That's
course.
what I'm saying.
That's why I'm not a Catholic. I don't think Catholic.
But I don't think it's Catholicism. There are some Catholics that sternly don't believe in that shit, and they're not with it. I'm sure the parents, the victims, they're like, "Yo, like we believe in God. We just don't want our kids touched." Like,
well, I'm sure that there's Catholic priests that didn't molest kids.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But I'm saying for it to be such a rampant thing, you have to look at the why. Why is it so rampant then?
Because
and
they're able to hide
the religion itself. Yeah, but if the religion itself is telling you to abstain from these things that are natural for you to feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, where does that energy go?
Let me give you a parallel example. Muslims have like their women dress in hijab, right? And they're supposed to do a whole like slew of rules that they're supposed to follow, right? Like not harm other people, not kill them, not look down on other people. Very similar to Christianity. And how much of that happens all the time? There's 1 billion Muslims. So should we get rid of like Muslim, like religion, like Islam? Like should that go away because there are dudes that abuse their wives, that beat them up, and they're supposed to honor their wives and take care of them, provide for them. They rape other women because you're like,
is that indicative of the religion?
That's my whole point. It's not got nothing to do with Catholicism. It's sick people. It's sick people that do sick things. It's nothing to do with the religion. It's just they're part of it so that it's people in power abuse
How can
power.
it not be part of Catholicism if it's such a mainstream thing because that Catholics touch kids?
It's about power, and you're looking at it from a Christianity point of view, and I'm saying holistically, all religions and people of power abuse their power. It's got zero to do with the religion and more to do with the person.
It's not institutionalized the way it is like in Catholicism.
It absolutely is.
Not.
Polygamy, Christians.
Name any other time. Name any Christians, like a large swath of Christians that have been molesting kids and getting away with it for years.
All of the conquistadors that came over here from Spain were Catholic, right? They were Catholic.
I don't know.
I'm saying in the Catholic religion.
I'm talking about in modern religion, like Christian. Like for example, I remember Eddie Long. Eddie Long touched a couple kids. They took his ass out. He lost his church.
Everybody that was in Epstein Island, a large swath of them were Christians.
I don't know about that. They looked.
They
fucking,
all.
What's his face? That atheist nigga with the wheelchair was there. So I can't really give that one up to them. But what I'm saying is like anytime that like Catholics, if you can move your abusers from church to church, knowing that they're abusing kids and all that other shit, that is institutional.
But I think it depends on the lens that you're looking at it in. Christianity evolved in Africa, and they were killing people, raping them, making them slaves, and handing them Bibles. That was Christians.
Yeah, but that was
Martin Luther. They were killing people that were practicing and believing anything other than the Old Testament. That was Christians.
And
that was Christians.
We've talked about this before about certain representatives of Christians being bad. Like
and that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying the same thing. Yeah, the same thing.
But the thing is,
every religion has that group of people.
A lot of
Yeah, but it's a lot of Christians, a lot of Muslims.
It would be too much of a coincidence for it to always be the people that are bad versus
like for example, right? Like one of the issues that we have in America, right, is monogamy. 50% of marriages end up in divorce because we have a belief from fucking back in the days because Christians, yada yada yada, one man, one woman, they get together, they make a marriage work, blah 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 blah. Because of that, because of monogamy, right? Most people fail at relationships because people, and especially now with social media, they want options. Like, take a look at the Arab population. They have polygamy and all this other shit, but it comes with its drawbacks too. It's like, sure, every religion is flawed, but there's only one religion that tries to completely isolate the man off from sex, and it's like if you do that, that's a dangerous path.
Monks do it too. Well, they don't have sex. And they're not out here raping people.
Yeah, but they're also in the mountains, like fucking.
You said abstainment would drive them crazy. There's whole sects of people that literally won't have sex, like their whole lives. Nuns do the same thing. Nuns aren't out here touching people as much as priests are. That hierarchical system of covering ass and positions of power is literally the cause of every form of abuse. You go the president's forms of abuse, the highest office of power generally get abused more. It's more about power than I think it is about position or what you're actually doing. It's the literal power part. So like somebody's boss at work, probably out here fucking some employees. Nothing to do with Target. He just happens to be the district manager. So he can be out here doing shit and no one's going to ever catch up to him later. And then if he does get caught, they're going to pay that money to cover it up so they don't look bad. And it's the same concept in a different area. That's how they do it everywhere. That's how they do it with everything. The fucking Secret Service agent that they were fucking off while Trump was about to get his head blown off. All those people are covering ass. The things that they're doing is wrong, but it's because they're in power. The people that are not in power get shit on the regular. They can't carry on being out here doing the shit that the priests are doing or anybody else. But I think it has less to do about what they're associated with than it does with their actually position of power. Diddy wouldn't be as big as Diddy was if he was some street nigga. Like he would have been got locked up a long time ago. The fact that he was of an elevated power was that he had access to all of these things. Those things are there for the people of power. They're not there for me or you. We ain't flying out $7,000-8,000 prostitutes from child sex trafficking slaves. Like we don't. Even if that was something we wanted, right? Because we're sick in our head, we don't have the funds to get access to it. But there has to be a demand for it, right? It wouldn't exist without there being a demand. Those people in power do sick, twisted shit in all aspects and all areas. Because the Catholics just have a fucking standing thing with the world that they've penetrated every government to recognize them to be the one group that can have no man's land.
Well, they also have the most wealth out
of everybody. Yeah. So I mean, like if your entire existence has been collecting power, and you have a sect of people that are doing shit that's wrong, that's against your actual word, but you protect them, they're insulated from the world in that way. They have their own rules for their own things.
Yeah, but the reason that I'm just highlighting that point that I'm trying to make, though, is that, for example, that's the reason I don't go to church now. I don't go to church now for the sole reason that I know that I'm going to fuck. And I'm going to feel bad about it when I go to church on Sunday and I pray. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be like, fuck, man, why did I? Yeah, I'm here, God. I love you. I want to follow your rules and everything. But guess what? I'm still trying to get some fucking pussy.
But yeah,
because of that, I know that I'm going to fall short of the religion. So because of that, I make the decision to remove myself from religion entirely, right? But
not entirely, though.
I mean, of course, I still respect my Sabbath and all this other stuff, and I try to be a good person. But what I'm saying is that for these people that are that embedded into that, they can't see anything outside of that religion. But at the same time, they still have these natural occurring urges that everyone, man and women, feel. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, they're in an elevated position of power. So it's like, yeah, it's, of course, power corrupts, absolutely. So the more power you get, the more, corrupted the person gets. But I think it's also fundamentally fucked up to set them up for failure by telling them, hey,
that's
you
part
can't
I
have
disagree.
sex. You can't have these
you're
relationships.
You're not setting anybody up for something they committed to. They chose to live that life.
Because out of their faith, their love for God. If you tell them, hey, the only way you're going to go to heaven is to abstain from everything.
It's like a double negative, though. How your faith for God, you're out here fucking kids. You already broke your commitment to God. It doesn't matter that you said, I will abstain. You're not abstaining if you're out here fucking little kids.
Then they just treat sins like Etch-a-Sketches. They just go in the confessional booth and fucking, hey,
point, like,
forgive me, Father.
I don't want to give.
All you gotta do is say 7 Hail Marys. And
I don't want to give all the priests and nuns a bad name because there's a bunch of dudes out here with fucking kids. Mm-hmm. They just happen to be priests.
No,
they're not really committed to the work. Now, I'm just saying that. Giving me a dude that's like, all right, I'm with the religion. I'm down with it. And I'm also gonna make sure that y'all continue to fuck these kids. Then I'd be like, all right, cool. That like you're something up with that motherfucker.
All I'm gonna say is, we just gotta stop. Catholics, y'all gotta let nuns get fucked, and y'all gotta let y'all priests go get some box. Because if y'all don't, this is what happens. They go out there, they go fuck these little kids. Let the priests fuck the nuns.
But that's like the Catholics telling you to be like, all right, stop abstaining on Saturdays. Like, you can't keep doing that because that's making you have these violent urges from not doing anything. Like it's akin to that. You know what I'm saying?
Like, that's a false equivalency.
It's not.
Well, it is.
Hey, you practice your religion this way. You practice your religion this way. You can't say because of this part of your religion you practice is the reason why.
I can sit there and say, hey, y'all probably wouldn't be fucking kids if y'all got to fuck none.
Nah, they would be. But my thing is, like, the people that are fucking kids already broke their abstinence. You're not in the gang no more.
Yeah, but it's not like they just started fucking kids from day one. They probably really tried to not fuck some kids and then eventually gave up because they can't do nothing.
But it's not because they told them not to fuck that they're fucking kids. This is my whole point. They were going to fuck kids no matter what. It doesn't matter if they told them not or not to. I'm pretty sure there's no bylaw in the Bible that says, well, if you're a priest, you can fuck kids because the Vatican says it's okay. Like, there's it's not there. It's not there. They just do it, and the Vatican's like, man, that nigga slip bag. Get over here, Frank. Like,
if the Pope is saying, hey, look, you can't be a father, a priest, if you get married, you're going to be out of the church. You're going to be like, all right, cool. I'm going to just stay over here in my corner and do my little thing then and not get married. But
I mean, that's
kid might get touched too.
I feel like it's their fault. I feel like it's their fault. Like, just like if you join a gang and you're like, man, I don't want to kill this guy, but you had to kill him because you're part of the gang. Then you go to jail. Now you about to get fucked in the booty. It's not like they spell that out, but like, you should know that's part of it. You committed to it. You can't make half-ass commitment to God because it literally says, if you're lukewarm, I will spit you out of my mouth. So like, those people aren't people of God anyway, even if they're getting covered by him because of their position of power. Doesn't mean that they're actually affiliated with that Christian.
That's why I'm saying I don't fuck with Catholics, like, because
I don't fuck with Christians either. That Christian dude when the hurricane was coming and he had like that $10 million bill, he was getting on his private jet saying "fuck all y'all." Like, he's not gonna be saved. He can save you, but he's not gonna be all right.
No, definitely. And the other dude that looks like a demon, I forget his name, but
I know you're talking about the white guy.
That white guy. Every time I see him talk, I'm like, I do not see the Lord with you.
He's like, I'll pray you like y'all. I'm like, okay, that nigga look like he's off just a little bit.
But for me, like, the reason I don't fuck with Catholics, right, is because to me, I look at them as idol worshippers. Like, the whole, I gotta go to the Mary to get Jesus. I gotta go to the saints. To me, that's all idolatry and all that other shit. So I don't fuck with it for those principles and all that stuff. And on top of that, the whole, hey, priests can't get married. I feel bad for them because I, as a man, know the urges that I go through on the daily, let alone trying to, like, for me, like, I remember when I was in church, right? Like, you remember how it was? They used to, like, for example, you would go to like a service one day and then like, they'd have like some random, like, televangelist, not televangelist, but like a random evangelist there. And then all of a sudden he'd be like, the Lord told me that these two are going to get married. Y'all to get played. You don't even know this chick. And all of a sudden, like, some nigga said the Lord said, and now all of a sudden you're about to get married at 17 to this girl you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Like there are religions that they have people that are like 13 years old, 14 years old, committing to get married for the rest of their life to somebody they don't know at all. Like, they're just like families and they have to, and that's just the way they're culturally set up. But nothing to do with religion. It's just how it is. Like,
but I'm saying like I've seen that. You know what I'm saying? Like where, like, that's just, like, to me, I don't want that. I never wanted that. Like, I want the mystery, the falling in love, the the thrill that all those things. I didn't want somebody to just pick out somebody in the audience
to
and be like, that's your next
the
future
eastern
wife.
side of the world.
You know what I mean?
That's a Western ideology. There are many like Indian women that grow up and they're literally like, this is who you're gonna marry. Like,
There's child marriages and fucking
they worship different gods. Like the Aztecs worship gods. They had child sacrifices. Every culture has had some weird fucked up shit going on. The Christians had the witch hunt in America, the
Salem witch
hunt. So like everybody had something that wasn't right. They had slavery. They had indentured servitude when they didn't have slavery. They had like slavery 2.0 after slavery when they abolished slavery. It was like kind of like they didn't upload that update yet. They got the iOS 10 over here, and y'all niggas is running on 2 still. Low key until they found out, and then they had to bump it up because of laws and shit.
But to me, that's what I always said. Like, you can't be a slave owner and a Christian. Like, I
don't know.
That's just
because I feel like a lot of slave owners, like we're slave owners by proxy in the world. Anybody that buys a high end phone, you're paying for slave labor. You buy some sneakers, you're paying for slave labor. We get cheap clothes,
but not directly.
We're doing it directly.
Like, I don't see the child.
There's a tithe. There's a tithe. You know how they pass the tithe around, and there's a tithe of child slavery, and then every time we're like, man, that's like
I didn't beat him into making them shits right.
Okay, when you click that link on TikTok for the 3 pairs of sweatpants for $30, just know that was funded by child labor, nigga.
I mean, but like.
It takes 5 weeks of shipping because it took like parts of people's souls to make your threads, nigga. Like. We're supporting it very indirectly.
No, and definitely indirectly. You know what I mean? Like, same thing with like the blood diamonds in Africa and fucking. There's a lot of shit.
Because we're just like, we are not with slavery. We don't want to have it here. Can't have it here. We'll buy all the shit from the slaves everywhere else. Like,
or even like
slavery from everywhere else.
What they've done to the prison system. The prison system. It's predominantly black people in jail.
If you just change
and then they turned around and then they made them work for free or for like very cheap. Like,
you change the word from prisoner to slaves, and then they're just slaves. They didn't go anywhere.
They just modernized it.
Yep, you know niggas making license plates now.
It's like when they just relabel and repackage something. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you're not gay. You're pansexual. Like, what? No, nigga, like, you like to fuck, you know what I mean? Dudes, like, you can't switch it up on me. You know what I'm saying?
Some verbiage too, but you're gay.
Yeah, you're still gay.
Get with extra steps.
But, it's just, it's fucked up. I just, like I said, because of my specific experiences with religion and all that stuff, that's just how I look at it. Like, I know that, like, lust for me is my biggest weakness. Like, it's what always seems to bring me down. So I can't imagine like being in a religion that says I can never be with anybody ever.
Well, it's not the whole religion though. It's a specific group of people in the religion. It's not everybody.
Well, no, the Catholics. It's just the priest that can't be.
Priest. I think the nuns can't either.
And the nuns, yeah. But I'm saying I feel for them for because
it's like you picked this life though, bro. I don't feel bad for niggas that are in gangs that gotta kill somebody. Like, you chose that knowingly. Like,
but if somebody told you that was God that chose you for this holy mission, like, and you believe in it enough, you gonna.
Well, my thing is like, if you believe enough, you won't do it. That's why I feel like you really committed. Let's see.
It's
you're
like
not really committed. We go find out. Either way, like, what's
that weird religion? Scientology. Like, them Scientology niggas be doing some
that
weird
religion. That's religion. That's religion like by taxes. That's not religion like real religion.
It's an alien religion. They believe in aliens and they're trying.
They believe in money, nigga. You can't be a broke Scientologist.
No,
nigga. That's what I mean. Like, you can't be like, oh, Jesus save me.
There's definitely a pyramid scheme there.
Nah, you gotta contribute, nigga. You can't be like, I got it this week. Pastor, you like, get the fuck out of this church of Scientology, nigga. Like, you can't be in here with your broke ass. We don't take brokies around here, okay? You can't get ascended to the next level with your broke ass working where you ain't working at, all right? We don't need 2,000 to 3,000 every time you come for this door, bro.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. That's a weird one. That's like...
Would you ever go to Scientology, like, service if you got invited to it?
Just so they can give me a breakdown and I can keep poking holes in this story. I'm like, so
I'd be curious, but I wouldn't.
What about like an Arab service, like a Muslim fucking?
Yeah, I think Muslims are like pretty peaceful people. The actual ones that practice the religion and shit like that. Like I don't think that they're. Well, you know, hey.
That's what it's just.
I feel like we say the same shit, but we'll get the same thing from their side of it. Be like, hey, look, I feel like Christians are pretty. You know, like, yeah, except for the ones that are blowing up kids and shooting us in our faces when we go to church. Like, yeah, those, yeah. But they've got plenty of those stories. That's like well documented. Like
America.
Yeah, they fucking hate us. They don't hate us because they just hate us. Like they hate us because there have been some atrocities.
We done dropped some bombs.
Yeah, they're like, all right, yeah, bombs, fucking rape, all types of crazy genocidal, blowed up schools, niggas blowed up hospitals. And we're like, yeah, I mean, 9/11 is terrible. Don't get me wrong. Like, they didn't deserve that shit. But, like, I know we've done many 9/11s over there. Like, even when it's not us, we're just like, we're in the back, like,
yeah, it's
like, it's like these niggas like, oh, that was Israel. But we back there, like, we gave them the, we slid them the fucking 9 millis. Just
or the shit that we did directly. Do you remember when what was that dude? Chelsea Manning came out when she leaked the videos of like the pilots murdering like random civilians. Like, so when WikiLeaks was out, when was the thing? The Chelsea Manning, he was at the time was a guy that was in the military and who later became a woman, but she leaked certain videos that it showed that were not very positive on us, right? It showed our pilots murdering like a bunch of civilians, like, and we knew that they were civilians and we just murdered them anyways, kind of thing.
Yeah.
We're like, with that. And you see like the fucking 50 cal just pop out, and you just see bodies and rubble and fucking, and this pilot just like enjoying, like it's like the time of his, like it's Call of Duty, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like, that's why they fucking hate us. Like to talk about that, don't other things happen.
You gotta imagine, because we're on one side. I know, especially right after 9/11, you're like, man, the Muslims are terrible. They do all this crazy. There's a lot of Muslim hate, but I'm like, on their side, like there's probably generations of them that grow up like, yo, like this is all we have. They're outside, they got dirt. You know what I'm saying? They have really shitty conditions, and they're just trying to live. And then they see these niggas like us. They see us out here eating food, you know, loving hip hop. Fuck you, niggas, mukbanging. You know what I'm saying? All this crazy shit. They were watching us, and they're like, yo, like we don't have a phone. You know, like we can't eat. You killed my cousin last week. I didn't do that. And I just wanted to go to a lot and all this stuff. So like, there's a whole swath of people that they're just like, yo, we don't fuck with y'all because of what y'all have done to us. And we're like on the same other end of it, like, well, we don't fuck with y'all because of what y'all done to us, but it's the people with power that just abuse both sides and pit each other against each other, and it's crazy. Because if you meet those people, you talk to them, you're like, they're not that bad, like they're not that bad.
No, and that's exactly how I felt when I was in the Middle East. Like, I had mad people that like
they just want to live, like they're just like us. They want to practice their religion, live.
They're just regular people.
They're regular ass people. They're not out here on that, and there's extremes on each end, and then somebody on like other side is like, see those people? That's all those people.
Yeah.
See those people? That's who everybody like. They like that, like the worst of all those people. So I feel like that about Catholicism. Just to be like back segue. I feel like they're a bunch of bad niggas, and they shouldn't protect them because it makes them all look bad.
Yeah.
I know, but I do know that there's people that aren't bad. They would never do that kind of shit. Like they're real like serious about their commitment to God. And the same thing for Muslims and Christians. There's a bunch of people that are peaceful people that just want to practice their religion and take care of their kids. But all of that shit is influenced in the government, especially with Jewish people. I know it's like down the line, but Jewish people particularly are overrepresented in Congress. According to Ben Shapiro, there's a bunch of representation from Jews. But are Jewish people white?
No, there wasn't.
You said there wasn't any?
Yeah, there wasn't. It wasn't as much.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. If there wasn't as much, we wouldn't be in Israel right now.
Yeah. We wouldn't be giving all them bombs and money.
Wouldn't have put a fucking what's the name, embassy in Israel. Like you talk about representation. You can't just get an embassy in your country with no representation. That's bullshit. maybe you don't have them physically in Congress, but you have a bunch of lobbyists that are Jewish. You have a bunch of companies that are Jewish. You got a bunch of telecom companies that are owned by Jewish people. You got a bunch of music industries.
Look
owned
into
by Jewish
BlackRock.
people.
See who owns BlackRock.
Yeah, my thing is you got a bunch of Jewish representation. Other ways, nigga, you don't really need them in Congress if they own everything.
Look who owns Hollywood. Look who owns the music labels.
Yeah.
A lot of Jew niggas. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Jew names. Like Michael Rubin.
Are Jews white? Or is Judaism a religion? Or is it a race? Religion or race? Judaism.
It depends on that guy. It's Ben Shapiro. You know what I mean? But according to him, you know what I mean, they're not white. they're but I don't know if you want to play the clip for that or
see.
But so kind of skipped a little.
I mean, I went down. We still got like 8 things. Something like that. Very good. No, Tuesday.
It's the very last one.
Do you not agree that you are a white man?
I mean, I think that it depends on the context in which we're discussing it.
So what are you, Ben? Are you not a white guy?
I mean, I'm a man of Jewish ethnicity, which is sometimes grouped with white and sometimes not. I mean, that's the more accurate way to put it. But when we're talking about with Jews, which is an ethnicity. I mean,
so you're not white at all.
I mean, again, it depends who's doing the grouping and how. I've seen Jews grouped with white and Jews grouped with not white. And are we just pretending that doesn't exist? That's a reality. However, as far as your generalized point, which is that we are supposed to identify people by group identity, that we don't have a black female president, somehow black females have not been represented. So Barack Obama was in no way representative of black females because he's not a female.
No, he was. He was representative,
so
but that's the point.
How do you do the math on this? And why?
But I think he was missing her point completely. Like I don't think he was saying that.
I don't think he was missing. I think that he does what white people do when confronted with racism. They dodge. They sidestep it. Like nope, ain't gonna get me. And it's like it's hard to argue with people like that because they're just gonna keep running you around in circles because they know how the world works. They know that the world works in their favor, and like he said, he's a Jewish dude. He knows full well that if a nigga like me start talking about crazy about Jew niggas like him, it's over for him. You know what I'm saying? And he also knows full well that if a Jew nigga like him start talking about a nigga like me, it's just another day in office. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the reality of the situation is that there certain races are represented more in America. And if we're really being realistic, the Jews is number one. They got the most power in America. So they pretty much are synonymous with white supremacy and white power, whether they like to look at it that way or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't own the entertainment industry, the fucking music industry. You can't own fucking BlackRock and all these fucking military arms companies and all this other shit that makes the world go around and then be like, we're not that represented. The fuck you are. We're not represented, motherfucker. Like, I don't see that many Puerto Ricans. Yo, you know what I started missing? I started missing when like you remember when like back in the days they would make like a bullshit like role, like a movie, and then like have like a stereotypical role like a Puerto Rican drug dealer or something. Like, I miss when they used to stereotype us like that because now we don't even get those parts. Now it's just like the Puerto Rican gay nigga or just like some random gay dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like those roles that we used to get.
I was just watching a video with
John Leguizamo.
Yeah, he was talking about that. He was talking about how like very like we're not represented in that form.
Yeah, I mean, like it's just the reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even like
all you got is J-Lo.
That's crazy. We are not just Hispanics in general, but we are we're no longer the minority. Like we're pretty much a good bit of the population, yet we're still not having these parts, or we're still not represented in Congress the way we should be, that's crazy. That's crazy that they still find white people to put there.
And then to call it out, you're the asshole for making them have to reflect on their treatment of you, and it's just like, nigga, fuck you.
I mean, generally speaking, the biggest or the fastest civil rights movement in the country has been heralded by gay white people. They had the fastest exchange of getting their rights taken care of any group, period. Like think about it. Like, in history, the black people.
No, I would say trans over white, over gay whites.
No, I'm just saying. Well, I'm right. I'm saying that if they're not even, they're not, to me, they're not separate because you're gay and
I mean,
something.
they're definitely, you know what I mean, like octopus. They got like, you know, the two arms crossed, but
get like white people that happen to be in the LGBTQ community have gotten their rights quick. They got their parades quick. They got their rights fast. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about their issues now, but like there are other groups that have been in the country for mad long and they haven't gotten their shit addressed.
Well, even something as simple as like gay people. Look how long it's taken people who are gay, not transgender, not binary, not all this other added stuff, but just gay people. How long it took them to be able to do some of the things that they're able to do, and even then, there's certain states that don't allow. But these transgender, they pretty much got bathrooms and
they skipped the line.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I seen I seen a tweet, right? These it was a poster of the Venom movie, and it was like what did it say? Something about we will fight for them or they them or some shit like that. And like it was making a comment about like Venom and how Venom and what's that dude's name? Eddie
Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy, yeah, but he plays like Betty Brock or Brock Eddie, something like that, right?
Eddie Brock.
We're talking about them, you know what I mean? Like as a collective, them, right? So then like some fucking trans person like retweeted and was like, "Oh, y'all are ignorant for using those pronouns and blah 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 blah." And then somebody made fun of that person, was like, "Yo, like why are y'all like, you know, like it's literally a pronoun we used prior to like y'all conception." Yeah, you know what I mean? Like now y'all turn around and like I commented
on they take ownership of the word as if the word belongs to them.
Well, that's what I commented, and I was like, "Yo, they be calling dibs on everything." I was like, "I hate these niggas." Like,
it's some crazy ass ownership where you feel like now you can't use that word if it's not in reference to them. Like, no, it's an English word that's been there for years, for ages. Like, what are we talking about? You've just been here.
I gotta give them credit though for their tenacity because we still can't get them to recognize that Puerto Ricans are Americans. But they can goddamn tell you that a man is a woman. It's not a fucking problem. They are them or he is she or. But they got that shit like fast. So you look at me. I know I look like a nigga, but I'm a bitch. All right, you will call me a bitch. All right. But we can recognize that is a thing. But we can't recognize that all the Puerto Ricans are Americans.
And to bring it back to like the original topic, right? Like Ben Shapiro, he sits there and says, "Oh, that they're not that represented." Like, just think of how represented Israel is, right? Israel is so represented that after World War II, America said, "I know that there's Palestinians living here, but that's your land now. You can have that shit," right? Like, when have they done that for black people after slavery? Like, when have whites have gotten together and been like, "You know what? That area right there, yeah, we fucked up. Y'all could have that shit. Go be a country. Go, go do what Israel did. We're gonna give you $500 billion in financial aid every year." You know what I mean? Like, fucking
look at these poor like Native American people. Like, they're getting these like, and that's probably the only people that they've done that to, but giving them like this little bit, like this little tiny
little
bit.
casino and reservations and shit.
They had this little bit. And look at them, and all the shit they had their land.
Hell yeah.
Had all the land, and these niggas came and took that shit and was like, "You can have this little corner off the side of it." Like, yeah, and yeah, like you're saying.
Don't come out when the guests are here.
Go through the back door.
I ain't seen a Native American my whole life.
Yeah.
It's just like the audacity of him to say shit like that.
Yeah.
Like the caucasity. Like these people, these white people are just so belligerently. They're not ignorant. They're just they're just. I don't know how to. What would be the delusional? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, how can you sit there and say that you don't have all the representation, all the power, all the fucking cheat codes, nigga? Like, look at us and look at y'all. it doesn't, like, there are North Carolina victims, like, still, like, somewhere, like, under the rubble, under, like, the mud that still ain't been found yet. Meanwhile, Israel's still benefiting, getting just check after check after check. Yeah, yeah. I was bugging because they pulled out of Lebanon like that. They took two main losses in Lebanon. Like, so, like, when they had to fight a real army, people that, like, was on even ground with them, 2 weeks they called that shit an end. They said we out. But meanwhile, they don't want to look at what's going on in Gaza as a massacre. Like, none of that's an even playing field, right? Like, y'all have killed 2/3 of the death toll is women, children, and elderly. So it's like, how is this a fair fight?
Part of that, like, Jubilee, they were talking about that because he was saying, I think it was that same girl was saying that that's a genocide, and he was like, no, it's a war, and it's like collateral damage to the war. And she's like, no, it's genocide because half of those people, like you said, were kids and women and children and like babies and people that couldn't defend themselves. And he was like, no, it's just collateral damage for war.
Yeah, no, and this thing is like when I said about them being delusional, is that you can confront them with the reality of the situation, and they will still like not see it because they refuse to. It would force them to have to look at themselves in a way that they don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like they would much rather like put the blame on all the other factors and this and that. It's like for the same reason that like white people think that like the immigrants are the issue for why America's fucked up. Like, no, like, yes, the country does, you know, especially lately, been funneling a lot of money there and they haven't done as much discernment on how they funnel it, right? But that's not why the country's fucked up. The country's fucked up because this is what America does. Like, they've been funneling money all over the place. Like, I don't know if you've seen, but there's a PPP loan arrest warrant list. The people that got PPP loans that weren't supposed to have gotten them, they're coming back to collect them shits now. And so back when COVID came around, not poor, but them niggas is probably next too. But the PPP is essentially, you were saying that you were a business and that you were affected. So essentially the government would give you like a loan so you
cover your payroll,
and all your expenses. So these people were pretending to be a business, saying that they had, you know,
payroll,
like a farm or whatever. No, the government didn't ask for any of that on purpose. They just handed out billions and billions of dollars, knowing full well that motherfuckers is going to get that shit. People were filing for PPP loans in other people's names, all kinds of shit. People don't even know that they had like $40,000 loans in their names, right? And now the government's coming back and going like, no, give me that shit. Knowing full well that people ain't got it. Why? Because they know that they did that shit was a trap from day one. Game was going to trap people. They knew that shit. They pumped that shit out, knowing full well that the people were in a fucked up situation. So everyone was trying to get divvy that shit up. And now they're turning around and being like, oh, it was a government oversight and we need to go, you know, arrest these criminals and blah, 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 blah. But it's like, but what about when the Pentagon loses $6 trillion in a day? Like, that's happened like 3 times now, 2 or 3 times now over the last like 20 years, where the Pentagon just loses randomly $6 trillion and shit. And it's like, no one gets arrested for that. But God forbid if some broke dude in fucking Texas needed a PPP loan. Now we need to come back and get that guy. It's not like, yeah, that guy's a dumbass. And he shouldn't have filed for a PPP loan, right? Just like, you know, the immigrant is taking up some resources and all that other shit, even though, like, you know, they're here illegally. But that's not why the country's fucked up. The country's fucked up because of the fundamentals, the things like that, how this money is getting divvied up and spread across the same thing with the VA programs. You know what I'm saying? Like they're spinning these veterans like, oh no, you can't get this money, because the money's low. We don't got enough funds, blah 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 blah. But then where are all the funds at? If you don't got funds for this, you don't got funds for that, you don't got funds for this, where is all this money going if we're the number one country in the world? Where we make this is the most capitalistic country, most of all the wealth is here. So where's all this money going? If not to these, corporations and shit.
It's going shit like this. Hold on. Playing video games. It's not really context, but I guess the context is that they faked the debris in Florida behind the governor. They put debris behind him to make it look like it was like more fucked up than it was. Just to look like there's a tragedy and shit. Everybody's going to shit like that.
Yeah.
DeSantis, yeah. Faking a debris backdrop for a hurricane press conference.
Trying to send his pie in this lavish house, going through this.
It's like, get them fucking house scraps behind me now. We need this funded. God damn it.
I don't know. I don't see why he needed to fake it when all he had to do was go to like Tampa.
And he wouldn't go to them impoverished areas. Like, you're not gonna get me out there, nigga. Put some debris in the street, bro. Put the podium in the street. Pull it out the office, make it look bad.
But I don't know, man. DeSantis is such a shit governor. Like I've been seeing every time I see him, he just kills me with his bullshit. But
and the fact that people willingly just pick the trash
through the street,
knowing that this nigga's just like fucking lying to these people.
Like the guy's probably like, why the fuck would he have us throw this in the street? We just pulled this out the street. You know, put it back.
That's not shit. Oh, this nigga's crazy.
There's some more shit going on in Florida or in Miami, to be particular.
My testimony will touch on this matter, and I've been asked to approach with extreme caution. The incident at the Bayside Marketplace in Miami on January 1st is currently classified, and I've been instructed to refrain from divulging certain details due to the ongoing nature of the investigation. However, in the interest of transparency, I will provide what little information I am authorized to share. A New York resident we will be referring to as Fitz was indeed present at the Bayside Marketplace on the night of the incident. The DOD has confirmed that Fitz may have witnessed something classified. Reports indicate that this individual captured footage of the event in question, footage that, as of now, remains classified and has not been retrieved by the federal government. This footage, if revealed, could have profound implications, not only for national security, but for how we understand these events. The American people are not aware, but due to government protocols, we have never had a situation where a civilian has had footage of this kind in their possession and has not been retrieved by the Department of Homeland Security. In past incidents, our procedures would normally resolve situations like this in a rapid time frame. There is a first time for everything. Now, as I'm sure you understand, I must emphasize that Fitz has been deemed an enemy of the state. This designation stems not from any malicious action on his part, but due to the sensitive nature of what he witnessed and the material he is believed to possess. Let me be clear. Fitz is not the only person of interest in this matter, but his involvement has made him a focus of ongoing federal operations. I would strongly advise everyone in this room and beyond to exercise caution in the questions they ask and the assumptions they make. This is an active investigation, and any attempt to push for classified details could not only jeopardize the integrity of the case, but also risk exposing highly sensitive information that our government is working diligently to control. We are treading on dangerous ground here. The Bayside incident, like the Nimitz encounter, touches on matters far beyond what we're ready to discuss publicly. And while I understand the desire for transparency, there are certain things we simply cannot divulge at this time. The safety of our citizens and the stability of our national security depend on our discretion. That is all I am at liberty to share today. We will not be discussing this further. Thank you.
So if you were to hear something like that, what would that tell you?
That means the truth can actually hurt us. Maybe it's the acknowledgement of the creatures, like of the mass acknowledgement of their presence being a thing, which enables them to traverse here. And telling us to like make it worse. I don't know.
If you were, after hearing that, knowing that that's coming from a government official, what did that sound like to you?
And the Department of Homeland Security is definitely holding, and they've been holding. And that,
but to me, what that essentially says is that confirms
everything,
the existence of non-human beings,
just like the Nimitz.
Yeah, like for example, the government always speaks through code, secrecy. They're never transparent about things. So you kind of have to try to filter out what they're saying without saying it, right? But like he said, like, no, there's never been a situation where a civilian has been in possession of some kind of evidence like that, because typically they have men in black guys to go and retrieve these things and make sure that no one has that kind of footage. So it makes me wonder, hey, why that hasn't happened? Why they haven't sent men in black to go get this dude and retrieve the footage if they know that he has it and label it an enemy of the state. And it makes, like, I don't know, to me, it just feels all like a setup. Like they're allowing this to happen because they're going to allow that dude to release that tape. Like that dude is, like, I could see, to confirm that aliens exist without the government having to do it for us. Right. Like, so all they have to do then is say, yeah, no, the tape's real. Without actually, and then, you know, of course there'll be more questions and shit like that. But it's a way of kind of like ducking and ducking. So like they're not saying it, but they're saying, hey, no, we need to get the shit because there's something on there that's highly classified that we can't let y'all see, because if y'all saw it, y'all gonna freak the fuck out. But don't freak the fuck out because everything is okay. You know what I'm saying? Like
maybe they're doing some like underground planning, like how they did in Godzilla, where they had all these other plans and it was like world governments cooperating together. Maybe they have some reverse engineered army ready to fight these alien invader niggas, but they can't speak on it publicly because then they know that if we know, then they'll know what we know. You know, like that kind of shit. Like they can't tell everybody because then they'll be exposed, or they'll have to say, well, this is what we're doing about it. By admitting that they know about it, they have to say, well, this is what we're doing about it. Because they can't just say, we know about it, we're doing nothing about it. We know about it, we're not studying them. We know about it, we're not trying to replicate them. They have to come with receipts too. It can't just be like, oh, we know about it for like the last half a century. We haven't done anything with that information though. You know what I'm saying? They definitely have, and they definitely have some type of programs running around in the background. There must be a reason beyond just us knowing that they know, because we've known that they've known for a while. It's been said that we've known that they know. But like, what is the harm in us discussing that we know that they know? You know, what is the repercussions?
I mean, just think about the repercussions of how that would affect like religion. Like how, like
it's already out there though. People know that they know. The Pope admitted that we have like
the Pope just now starting to come out there and say that. But like the majority of the world believes in some sort of religion, right? Most of these religions have not, gone like acknowledged the existence of these things, because in all religions prior to it, it's always been about the old gods, or there was Zeus and all these other motherfuckers, but never was there this talk about aliens. So it's a foreign concept to religious people nowadays. So it's like if you were to tell a bunch of people who are waiting for the rapture that, hey, there's fucking aliens like right around and they abduct people, like I think that would fundamentally freak out half the country. I mean, like, just think about all these Christian people that are waiting for some dude to pull up in the skies to suck them up out of here and get them out of here for this tribulation. I mean, that sounds like an alien abduction. Like, you could paint it a different way. So it's like, which is where then the great deception comes in, is what is and what isn't, and trying to figure all that shit out. But admitting it would fundamentally terrify the fuck out of most of the people. I mean, Arab, the Muslims population, the other major religions, even non-religious people. I mean, just think about your drive to work. If you were driving to work and the car in front of you got abducted, the driver in front of you got abducted, or you're sharing the highway with fucking UFOs, that's going to spice up your drive to work a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so I think that like they're doing their best to cover it up, well, to not say it, while at the same time slow dripping enough information so that we can kind of get our own assumptions and figure it out for ourselves without them having to tell us. So I think that it's leading to an event. What this event is going to be, who the fuck knows? I don't know shit. I'm just some guy. I get high and think about shit. But it seems like it's all leading up to something. You know what I'm saying? Like they're talking about, SETI has made contact with something, because you have SETI, which is the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence Institute or whatever. They're sending a beam out into space to contact other civilizations and tell them, hey, we're here. Well, what happens if they make contact with something? You know what I'm saying? You got fucking the motherfuckers at the...
I haven't had a theory.
Sorry, what's it called? The Large Hadron Collider. Hey, we're ripping holes into dimensions and we can talk to entities on the other side, and there's blah, 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 blah. What does that sound like? You know what I mean? Like, so I think that this is all going to be playing for the future, for like what the new world's going to be like. And I think the new world, it's like, how they said in the Bible that the end times would be like the times of Noah? Well, what was going on in the times of Noah? In the times of Noah, you had the fallen angels cohabitating with humans, making babies, giving them technology, all these things that led man astray. I think that's what's going to happen now. You're going to have a world where it's going to be cohabitated with aliens, ETs. They're going to be giving us technology, and it's going to lead mankind astray. There's going to be transhumanism, cyborganism, all of the fucking isms that we can think of. And it's going to bring us further and further away from God, and to the eventually bringing the Antichrist, Mark of the Beast system. And, I think that's where it's all leading up to. Now, of course, I could just be some nigga getting high, tripping. Or it could be me seeing the signs and, what God putting that in my heart for me to be aware and awake. Hey, this is what's going on. Pay attention. Hopefully that's what that is. But, it's a crazy time when the government starts admitting shit like that. Because after so many years of deny, this doesn't happen, this isn't real, you guys are crazy, tinfoil hats, blah, 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 blah. They're sitting there going, they're labeling Americans enemy of the state for possessing evidence of it. That means if you went outside tonight and recorded a UFO fucking flying through your neighborhood, you could be an enemy of the state.
Well, an entity. The UFO video people, I think, are straight. But the entity shit, like, that proves a whole different thing.
Well, yeah.
You can claim a UFO is whatever. That could have been Billy down the street. Got real creative last night. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything that was. But seeing, like, shadows morph from the ground from a different dimension, that's some Rick and Morty type of shit. Like,
I'm saying, like,
I might need to not tell anybody about this.
Well, it's like the Las Vegas incident. You remember the Las Vegas incident where the UFO crashed in that kid's backyard? They went outside, they recorded, they supposedly saw ETs and shit. I mean, just think about if that were to happen to you and you were to hold on to the footage and be labeled an enemy of the state for it.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. I know what happened. I know it totally happened. You try to withhold evidence.
But I mean, it's like, how are we not allowed to record what we fucking see in the world? If a crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not our fault that you guys can't admit what's going on in reality. Like, y'all don't want to tell us shit, but then at the same time, if we stumble across it and record it, we might be labeled enemy of the state. It's like that's kind of fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, and I wish the world was a little bit more transparent, That way we all knew what the fuck was going on instead of us trying to figure out, guess, fight and squabble over religion, who's right, politics. Just give us the fucking truth and then we'll figure it out from there. But you know what I mean? I don't know.
Got like a couple more. Mainly the Kamala. I guess the Kamala, we could do them.
Breaking news after Vice President Kamala Harris kicked people out of her rally who screamed, "Jesus is Lord," saying they were at the wrong rally. After massive backlash, she's now trying to save face by going to a Baptist church.
Yeah.
So they didn't show you this on the videos. There are true believers out there, and that lady won't have it. That's absolutely a damn shame. You mean to tell me you got people being escorted by the police out of the house of God? But somebody got to stand up for the word of God. And when they see an abomination, when they see a Jezebel on that stage, that lady had to speak out. Kamala, how much did you pay that church? And Jamal, what deal did you make? That's a damn shame, Newberg. But that's what discernment is. Only true believers will speak out like that. And being real, I'm sure that lady won't be back in that church. She probably was a member of that church. Again, that lady don't love Christ. And this happened in a black church, and y'all still can't see the demon that this woman is. All these people come to do is praise God, but instead, they get a demon sitting at the front of their pulpit. Newberg, you should be ashamed of your damn self. That don't make no damn sense.
So did you see that blender by Kamala?
Mm-hmm.
When so Kamala was at a rally, there was two that was like, "Jesus is Lord," and she's like, "Ha ha, I think you guys are at the wrong rally." Yeah, that backfired horribly for her. So then to make up for that, she went to a church to then pander like politicians do. But then in the process of pandering to the Christians who she's pandering to because she fucked up at the rally, she got some members of the Christians kicked out because they got escorted outside of the church. Like, so it's just like it just shows like the missteps that the Harris campaign continues to do. Like, for example, when she said, I think you guys are the wrong rally, I knew that was a fuck up because it's like, do you know how many white evangelicals fuck with Trump? Like, Trump has a massive fan base in church. Like, then if he starts getting the black evangelicals on top of that, it's over. So it's like,
I don't understand why the Christians are following this man.
I know that's another principle, but it's like, if you know that he's popular in that, and Trump's sister, and he knows how to stroke their ego. He'll be like, "Oh, these great
your God is the greatest God of all gods."
Even though that may be deception and pander, he does it, right? Meanwhile, you're on the opposite side, pretty much Kamala Harris going, fuck them niggas. You know what I'm saying? And then realizing it's a mistake. Okay, let me go to a church to fix this. Oops, I just fucked up again. Got some people kicked out of church. It's like, you're not going to win the presidency. Like, not like if there's anybody that you need right now, it's the fucking evangelicals, because it's like, you don't have the black vote, you don't have the black males vote, so it's like, where are you going to get this like black vote from? You know what I'm saying? Like the hood dudes are talking about they fuck with Trump because Trump released their favorite rappers. You haven't released any rappers from jail from the last 3.5 years, or Biden. So it's like, what have you done? You ain't done shit for them. So it's like, if you're trying to pander to the black vote, you got to start in the churches. You got to get to the deacons and you know what I'm saying? Like the reverend, like, you know what I mean? Like, so to sit there and fuck up again, it's like, it just shows that like she's underestimating the importance of those people. It's like when Hillary Clinton was like, or not Hillary Clinton, Mitt Romney was running against Obama, and he was like, oh, I'm not fucking with that 47% that's already going to vote for them. Like when you sit there and say, it may not have been Mitt Romney, it may have been somebody else, whoever it was, my apologies. But one of them was like, oh, I ain't fucking with 47% of them. 47, that's almost half. That's half the people you just pretty much told fuck you to. It's like now you have to win the other 53%. And there's going to be some overlap with the other, people. So it's like, you can't sit there and shit on the majority. And I mean, because despite, separation of church and state, blah, 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 there are a lot of people who are Christians. There are a lot of people who believe in God. There's a lot of people who are religious people in America. So it's like to kind of like laugh in their face and be like, oh, I don't fuck with y'all. But then realize, oh shit, I do need to fuck with y'all. But then still
fuck with y'all. I mean, I do now.
It's just so many missteps where it's like Trump, you don't see those missteps. I just seen him the other day on the Joe Rogan show. That shit went like crazy viral. Like
I feel like Trump has no filter and doesn't give a fuck. So he says what he might be deceptive on certain things, but like things like that, his beliefs and stuff like that, he's not. He just it is.
No, but
this is who I am.
He knows where to go, though. He knows who to present himself to reach the mass. You know what I'm saying? Joe Rogan has the greatest podcast, the greatest reaching podcast. It's number one. Blah 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 blah. Let me go on the Joe Rogan show so that I could fuck with his people because I want them to come and turn out and vote for me. Kamala Harris turned down an opportunity to be on the JRE. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she could have been on, but because she got fried by the Fox News dude, she wasn't trying to get fried again. It's like you turned down the opportunities that Trump is fucking eating. And then you're sitting there wondering why it's such a close call. It's a close call because, like, this dude is out there still rallying with those, telling the people who don't fucking matter that they fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? Like the he's going out there in the to the rural whites in North Carolina that didn't get their $750. We're gonna do something more for y'all. We got no stimulus. We got this. America. They're out there giving this money to immigrants and like make America great again. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when these people that are like so downtrodden, so hopeless, are sitting there, and of course he looks like Jesus to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like that's the danger of Trump, is that he is so and yeah, he's entertaining, blah 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 blah, but he's also he's such a people magnet, despite all his flaws and all this fucked up shit, that even if he does the fucked up shit, he's gonna have a massive wave of people that are gonna fucking go down with him. January 6th is the perfect example of that. So it's like Kamala doesn't have that kind of rabid fan base, and she never will if she keeps doing
shit like this.
Yeah, I mean shit like this. So
we can't blame her being senile like we could.
Like yesterday, she was with Beyonce. They were doing like a concert or something like that. It's like she's trying to pander, but let me get Beyonce. Niggas who are voting don't give a fuck about Beyonce right now. We don't give a shit about what Beyonce got to say about the elections. Like, we want to hear from fucking, you know what I mean? Like, people that fucking, like, it's like, I hate when the entertainers be talking the political shit. Like, I don't want to get my politics from an actor, a celebrity. I don't want Jordan to tell me about fucking, who he's voting for. Like, y'all vote for who the fuck y'all want to vote for. People are going to judge, blah, 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 blah. But I don't give a shit to hear that from y'all, because I want the informed truth. So who am I going to turn to? The informed political pundits who research, the journalists, the motherfuckers that really do the groundwork to get the information out, because they're going to be the most knowledgeable ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just like, but instead, I don't know. Kamala is just out there just getting Megan Thee Stallion, Beyonce. Y'all come up here and twerk. We're going to get all the black people. All right, we'll see you November 4th. Like, because I'm telling you, Trump is going to fucking win. And like, I can feel it. And I feel like there's just gonna be some shit that goes with that, and it's just like, yo,
Just gotta be ready.
gotta be ready. Like you gotta see the reality of what is, and plan accordingly. You know what I mean? Like it's a scary world. You know what I'm saying? It was a scary 4 years when Trump was in the first time. I remember white people was brave as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like it was out there like just looking at motherfuckers like, let me get this gun ready in case a colored want to come through. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, it's like you got these Democrats that fucking pandered horribly, didn't look like viable options. Like if I had to choose between two evils and they both evils fucked me, who am I picking?
Don't give me that money.
Yeah.
Just playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. The economists are going hard on that. They're saying that his plans aren't going to give us what we want as far as the economy goes, and it's going to fuck it up even worse. So it's like, I don't know. And I do agree. I do agree with Obama when he was like, I gave him a good economy. I don't disagree with that. Like the way that the presidential shit works and legislative, like you could be working there for 4 years and your policies and what you put in place don't really start coming out to the last two, just because of the way it works. Like you couldn't have been affecting something day one when you walked in, because executive orders don't do that. You have to pass the laws and get people. And then after you do that, after a period of time, then actually the laws come out and they start playing into effect. So like at the first 2 years of any president, you're getting what the other person left you. And then the last 2, you're pretty much, that's what you're leaving. So like, I'll give you credit for the last 2, but the last 2 was COVID. The first 2 was Obama. So you really can't, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then when you're like, well, Joe Biden had the worst economic, well, the first 2 were you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now the last 2, you're like, well, he didn't, but we went through COVID too. So it's like, you were here at the ass end of COVID, and then you left, and then you left the economy, and then now it can't all of a sudden be Joe Biden's fucking fault. Like, not for the first 2 years. In the last 2 years, they're like, oh, all these problems. The Democrats said something about, this is the shit that gets me about the migrant thing. They legit had a law ready to pass, and y'all niggas said no. Yeah. You don't get to turn around and be like, look what they did to the border. They couldn't get a law passed. It's not, the presidents don't pass laws. The vice presidents don't pass laws. So when you're like, well, why didn't you do it? Y'all didn't pass civics class. Like, that's what it is, right? Because they don't pass the fucking laws. So if you're asking why the Congress didn't pass the law, it was the Republicans that didn't pass the law. But you can't not pass a law and then be like, all these immigrants, like, you're pandering now. Y'all gotta be fucking kidding me. You idiots. And the idiots that go like, oh my God, she did that the last. The vice president rarely, if ever, does anything in regards to domestic policy. They're usually in charge of foreign policy. Now, you can nail her to the cross for that shit, because generally that's what vice presidents do. They deal with...
they definitely are when it comes to gossip.
They deal with foreign policy. Now, mind you, Trump, isn't he the one that pulled out of Iraq? It wasn't Biden.
I think Trump started
My point. Removal. You started that shit, and then you said he did such a horrible job pulling out. Nigga, you sent the fucking calendar invite, right?
Oh yeah, but I mean, I think the problem with Biden's pullout was that we left behind all our military gear, and then that was.
I get that, but that type of infrastructure planning starts from day one when you initiate it, not 2 years later when you're like, oh damn, they didn't leave the plans. Like, nah, they're leaving all these here. Like, what the fuck? And, you know, I'm not saying he's the most competent leader, but I'm also saying you can't initiate an issue and then be like, look at a horrible job you did with it. Like, nigga, you did half the job. You were supposed to be halfway done. You're 20% done. Then you give it to me, and I got to figure out how to play because you committed all this shit to these people. But you started this shit. Like, you started this shit with the hey, build the wall. That wall never fucking got built. Then we're like, hey, border reform. Here's border reform. Well, fuck that plan. And now I'm going to blame you for it not passing. Like, how do people not see this shit? Like, I see it on both sides. I feel like they're both fucking panderers. But of the two, the one that's worse to me is the one that won't even admit what they did wrong in the first place or give credit to the other person for doing something right. Yeah. And I can say they're both fucked up. But, like...
No, they definitely are. And that's where people are at, is like, well, who do we vote for? Do we vote for the felon who's entertaining, but he's gonna essentially like give Israel all the money anyways, and we're gonna wipe out Gaza.
He's the one that put the fucking the embassy in Israel.
Yeah, or they're gonna vote for Kamala, who's pretty much already has funded the massacre in Gaza. So it's
they're
both pro-Israel.
Ultimately, that nigga started it by putting a goddamn embassy there. He put the battery in their back to make them think that they're gonna get support if something happens. He initiated that shit. Then he left. And then after he left, then they got attacked. Israel got attacked, and they're like, okay, now we got to support them. You wouldn't have to offer that level of support if they weren't part of the United Nations. He legit said, we're going to put an embassy here because we want to protect Israel. And then on the same page was like, why are we sending all this money to Israel? We should take care of the United States. You built a fucking building over there and said, you're part of our team now. Anything that pops off, we're going to help you with it.
But I think that was always the U.S. position when it came to Israel.
They never had an embassy until Donald Trump was president. He was the first president in history to put an embassy in that area because everyone knew.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like the embassy, I don't think made us more.
It does. We have more commitment to them because there's a literal U.S. a part of us. An embassy is basically a piece of America in another country, right?
No, I mean, yeah, but
so we put a piece of America in a country that is at war with.
But they're an ally. We've put embassies all across the globe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
in the 60, 70 years that they have been a state, the first time we ever put an embassy in that state because of all the turmoil and shit was while he was president.
I mean, I don't doubt it because that's when the whole thing started talking about the third temple being built. Once he got into office, everyone said, yo, let's build the third temple now. It's about that time, which everyone who knows anything religious knows that when the third temple gets built, that's the Antichrist reign. So that's why people are freaking out about this third temple being built now, the red heifers and all that shit, blah, 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 blah. It could be because of Trump. I'm not doubting that. But I'm just saying that Israel and America has always had those sort of ties where
they've always had a relationship. We built the Iron Dome.
Which is why Trump kind of like reinforced.
He took it really fucking far when you're like, I'm going to put an embassy there. We're going to send representation there.
But then
there's going to be a representative in the United Nations for Israel.
But Trump is a billionaire. So then we have to look into the financial ties then between Trump and Israel.
But I'm saying,
like if he's financially incentivized to do so, of course he's going to be like, yeah, no, we're going to protect that.
People that vote for him are fucking stupid. If he can then go back and say, oh, look at what they're doing in Israel. They're getting involved in wars that they don't need to be involved in. You initiated this shit.
Well, it's Israel got itself in the wars. They're the ones attacking everybody.
We put ourselves in it and involved ourselves in it back when we shouldn't have built a house for a bunch of murderers. We shouldn't have done that. We shouldn't have said, hey, we're going to put our name on it. Like, we shouldn't do that. And then be like, oh, later on, like, well, look what they're doing with Israel. You initiated these issues. He assassinated a dude. Remember he assassinated a dude? That dude, he's like, I brought him in and talked to him, and I just showed him a picture of it. I Googled, showed him a picture of his house. Like, you gave up, like, security information for the government, saying, like, oh, we're watching your house. And now he knows he's being watched. Like, he did stupid shit like that. And I'm like, that doesn't make me feel good about him in the slightest. And I'm like, as far as, like, economy goes, like, how it's very hard to gauge when you're going through a world crisis for, like, economy-wise, if somebody's doing a great job or not. I just know toward the end, what he left is what we had, like the end result of the tax cuts for the rich and all that shit. That one tax cut where he literally gave people the money from themselves and then raised the taxes for 4 years after that. You all remember that shit? It was like, hey, you'll get a payout.
The stimulus check.
And that stimulus was not really a stimulus. It was a loan for your own money. And that he would raise the taxes in perpetuity until you paid back that money. So it's like he gave you your own money to make you pay for it in interest later on. And people praise him for that shit. Like, oh, he did shit for the people. Like, that's what he did for the people. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think it's because it was the immediate need for the money, and people were getting these fucking checks. So they didn't see
it's the equivalent
down the road.
Of Social Security. Like, you're going to pay into this. We're going to give you this check now, but you're going to have to pay us back for this later. Like, it's, well, in reverse, I guess, because you're borrowing your own money. But, like, I don't know. I'm trying to look at some milestones. Like, hey, this person did this person did this. But, like, the system is fucked up enough to where the Congress is making it hard for laws to pass. The people that are not passing the laws in Congress are Republicans, but they're the same people complaining about the migration issue, about the immigrant issue. And if you look at it from that perspective, and he's telling them, hey, don't pass these laws if the Democrats are pushing it through, he's in effect causing the issue, then complaining about it. And that's what I don't like. Like, I don't know how people don't see that. They're in different segments of groups, and you're like telling this group of friends not to talk to this group of friends. You're wondering why they have problems. Like, we don't get the migrants in New York City without the like governor of Texas sending them there on buses. Like, they don't get there.
And Florida.
Florida, all the other places like that, they're sending them. So you can't be like, hey, look at the crisis in New York that you're helping. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're aiding and abetting a crime, but you're complaining about it at the same time. You can't load migrants on buses and be like, look at New York when they came from Florida and you just sent them there. You know what I'm saying? And you let them in. Really, you're the one that's failing. Like, you let them pass the door, then you're complaining about the issue. Well, we don't have that problem here because you didn't leave them here. You put them on a bus and sent them to New York, or you sent them to Chicago, you sent them to Ohio, you sent them to California. You sent them there, and then you're like, look at this crisis. Like, that's some real, like, next level, what do they call that? Gaslighting. That's next level gaslighting. Like, all right, look at that country. Like, wait, they got here from the ticket says fucking Texas. I'm not understanding how
you got the Disney fucking
like, wait. And I get that they're exploiting the system and they're like, they're giving all this money to the immigrants when they get there, because they are doing that, yeah. But, like, how did they get there? You know what I'm saying? And the CBP, they're like, oh, you know, they want to do their jobs. It's like, but you could do it. Like, there's laws that say you have to detain people and send them a certain way, but all of those laws are made by Congress. All those congressmen that are Republicans that aren't passing any immigration laws, like, they should get fired. But he's not calling for that either, which makes me feel like they're all part of the same game. Like, if Donald Trump isn't name dropping the niggas or laws to pass that could make America great again, right? I'd give him his credit if he was like, hey, this law is going to make us great again. This law is going to make sure that we all make money. This law is going to make sure that our borders are secure. Like, neither one of them are quoting any particular laws.
It's like the other day I heard the VP for Trump, J.D. Vance, he was like, oh, we need to get Trump elected because if Trump gets elected, he's going to release the Epstein files.
He's in them. Like, how is he going to release them?
I was like, exactly. Like, he's going to snitch on himself? Nah. He's going to bury that shit under a lake somewhere. Like, fucking, we shall never hear about those victims again. But it's just like the delusion in that these people really believe that. Like, it's just like, all right, like, you really, like, if you talk to the Trumpers, they really don't think that Trump was involved with Epstein, even though there's pictures, all kinds of shit that was found. But then if you talk to Democrats, they don't think that their heroes are mixed up in that shit as well. And it's like, no, you guys are all in this shit. Like, you're all, it's, you know what it reminds me of? You remember when Kanye made that video, Famous or whatever the fuck? All the naked niggas was in bed, and I was like, what's the imagery? We don't get the symbolism. Well, I bet you do now.
Yeah.
Kanye, you're all in fucking bed with each other.
Yeah.
Like, and we just keep fucking arguing, dividing ourselves up. They don't even have to divide us. We divide ourselves up willingly, fucking to argue about some shit that don't even affect them because they're in bed with each other. The Democrats, the Republicans, it's all bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's WWE and fucking and the president's Vince McMahon, and he's just like, all right, well, these are the heroes from this season, and these are the bad guys. So it's just like it's all bullshit. But until we all look at it as bullshit and stop buying into it, they're gonna keep wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So I think it's long enough. I don't want to cover any more topics.
We have like 2 more anyway.
Yeah, we've run this like 2.5 hours, so it's a lot of editing I'm gonna have to do. But great episode. We got to talk about a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? We got to unearth, unpack. You know what I mean? Like the
shovel out.
Yeah, shovel out. You know, the dating apps and the fucking the migrant streams. But there's a lot of this world has a lot of shit that's gonna excuse me, that we're gonna have to navigate through. Men, women, children, fucking adults, and you know, we're never gonna get nowhere if we can't even be honest about the shit that we're seeing. So I'm just gonna continue being honest about the world that I see. You can disagree with me and feel free to leave in the comment section. You know what I mean? Or at me on Twitter or whatever the fuck. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure y'all do all the good shit for us. We're gonna continue to keep podding, and we're gonna plan to expand and keep doing what we're doing, like researching the truth, trying to find what's really going on out there, so that when we get in front of these cameras, we're not just bullshitting and telling y'all just stupid shit that y'all don't know if it can be fact checked or not. Everything that we're gonna be saying is gonna be fact checked and all that stuff, and sometimes not. Sometimes we're just gonna get up here and just talk. You know what I mean? Like, because it's just entertainment. But we're gonna try to keep a certain level of integrity. You know what I'm saying? And because this world is without it. Politics, fucking what the churches, we all see it. You know what I'm saying? So look forward to our next year as we continue to expand, and we got a lot of shit coming up. Not sure how the next pod's gonna be looking like. We got a wedding to attend to. We got my mom coming in. We got a lot of shit going on.
President getting elected.
Got presidential elections. Fucking it's gonna be busy. But look forward to what we do. And see you guys soon. You guys got any closing remarks I want to say?
Stay away from them dating apps.
Yeah.
The McDonald's quarter pounders.
Hell yeah. Fucking don't do nothing crazy. I know election day's coming up. Don't get caught up in the passion and all the hype and all that shit. Fucking don't be fighting with your neighbor just because you got a MAGA hat. You know what I'm saying? Like, just learn to coexist amongst each other, because we all have to share this world. We all come from different backgrounds, different cultures, different races, different ethnicities, but we all bleed the same. We're all human. Don't matter where we're from. So whether you're Palestinian, whether you're a Jew, whether you're black, you're white, whether whatever the fuck, we all the same, and we all human. So
you in this dimension, you from a different dimension. It's all good.
No, let's see ETs and we ain't fucking try.
Y'all, we cool though.
We not. But you know what I mean? Highly offensive, episode 114. I'll figure out what to title this later. Fucking think that's it. And hope you guys enjoyed. I know we ran kind of long, but we got a lot to talk about.
Peace.